Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Taberry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Oh, baby, it's good to be back. Let's do it live on a Monday edition of the program. That's it. That's the list. I just told Beamsy, no days off till Christmas for your Uncle Bo. The summer travel season is over. We are loaded up on a Monday. The Big Ten is convening in Las Vegas, and news is coming out of there. And we're going to have that for you coming up throughout the first hour of this program. And as the program goes along, there is a new pick to win the Big Ten. We'll have that for you at 9:30. You're going to hear from your two quarterbacks. That's coming up at 9:45. Scotty Sheffler made a little bit of history over the weekend. He's just on a completely different level than everybody else. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. The Blitz moves up to 10 o'clock because 20 Most Interesting continues. We're on South Carolina in the final hour of the program. Bill Bender, Sporting News, going to join us at 10:30. This is everything I'm about to tell you. This is just how it happened. This is just what it is. This is what you're signing up for, and we're done. We did the full summer of the youth sports. We were all three boys in lacrosse. We were in Baltimore area twice, Baltimore adjacent once, and then this weekend, thank God, we were down in Cincinnati. So that isn't a 5+ hour drive. That's a manageable situation coming home. This is what you're signing up for if you are in the youth sports summer circuit world. This was just the weekend. This is what it was. So we stayed a little south of Kings Island at a Marriott, it was fine. Usually you're not in a Marriott. Usually you're in a fill-in-the-blank suites. And the level of, let's just say that they use the word suites very loosely. Okay, this isn't Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. Like, that's not what you're getting into here. If by suites they mean it has a sink, then fine. It's a sink. That's kind of where it's at. So we at the Marriott, best hotel we had all summer. Good job out of them. That was fantastic. So on Thursday, Friday, you get your schedule for the weekend. So we have all three boys in it. So this is the schedule. Our hotel's about 20 minutes from the fields. These are the Warren County fields that if you have youth sports, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know there's no cell service. You know how brutal it is. The fields themselves are pretty good. They got a couple of turfs and a bunch of grass, but they built it like in a straight line. Like that images you see of that Saudi Arabian city where it's just a straight line forever, as opposed to like in a block or in a circle or in a square where you could actually kind of convene. No, it's in a straight line. So one field could be 6.5 miles from another. At least that's how it feels. This was our schedule for Saturday. Okay, 8 a.m. Bootsy plays. Okay, Beamsy and Bootsy both play at 9:30 on complete opposite ends of the operation. 11 o'clock they both play. And then at 12:30, Beamsy plays. Afternoon slate, NBC. He played at 2, 2:30, and 5:15. So this is in the brochure. You're going to be at this place for 12 hours is what it is. You got to be there by 7:15 to warm up. By the time NBC's done, you're in the 6:30 hour. It's 10+ hours at the event. The worst thing that you can get in any of these situations is weather. So it started to rain Friday, lightning and rain Friday at around 5 o'clock before NBC's last game got started. So you know what they did? Smartly, they canceled the last 2 games of the night. But here's what this means for you as the parent. It means that they are going to monkey wrench 2 games in early in the morning on Sunday, and your Sunday schedule is about ready to blow up. And boy, did it. And boy, did it. But before we get to that, here's the other thing you got to deal with. You got to have dinner. And then you got to have dinner, not just with one, not with your family, as you would think, because you've been spread out all day and no one's really eaten anything worth a damn. No, you got a coordinated dinner with 16 different families on 3 different age groups to make sure everybody's happy and nobody's left out. And a lot of times they want to do like, it starts on a text chain. It's like it is a text chain that won't end about, well, what about this place? Well, what about this place? So inevitably, I stepped in on Saturday and I said, look, I don't need a tour of northern Cincinnati. I think I'm going to eat in the hotel lobby is what I'm going to do. You're welcome. I'd love to see anybody who wants to come, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be I'm not getting in a car and driving around and going for, the old 96er. That's not where I'm at. I don't need to eat the best ice cream in northern Cincinnati. I don't need to try another chili. I'm good. I'll just get me to the hotel. So you get to the hotel, and everybody agreed to that. And so folks came in, and everyone's having the dinner. But here's the other thing now. You're in the hotel, and you are now 2 things. You are a parent, you're trying to relax, and you're also an undercover policeman. Because what do kids do when they all get together in a confined space? Tomfoolery. So, as you're sitting there at dinner, this happened, both of these conversations happened to my wife. The guy who was running the restaurant came over and said, you look like you're leading things. I'm gonna count on you to make sure that I get the numbers right because you got to do that. You got 60 people there, so you got to have the right hotel room numbers with the right parent. Fine. So she's lording over all of that. So she's she's won Emmys, but she's more proud of that she was viewed as the leader of the flock. So that made a very big moment for her. Not 20 minutes later, Beamsy comes down with the hotel general manager. He got locked out of his hotel room. Do you know why the 11-year-old was locked out of his hotel room? Because it's very likely the 13-year-old was ding-dong ditching his own room, which had the 11-year-old come out and get locked out. Okay? 15 minutes later, general manager comes back. Now, we're 30 minutes away from, you feel like you're leading this whole operation, ma'am. We're going to lean on you. Big sense of pride. 30 minutes later, general manager comes back to my wife. If you don't handle your children, we're going to ask you to leave. 30 minutes later at 11 o'clock. So can you imagine? And by the way, we do play at 8 a.m. Sunday. So now your Uncle Bo went from cocktails, unwind, fine, I know what I'm in for, let's get to it, to now I've got to be Buford T. Justice, and I've got to go elicit some pain on a 13-year-old idiot. Okay? So, fine, let's go do that. All the while, guess what they decide to do with the games on Sunday? By the way, we're supposed to be out of there, but last game was supposed to be at 11:30. Everybody on the road, little afternoon at home, right? Nobody loses, but what happened? Well, we had rain. And when you have rain, fellas, then you got to get all the games in. So now we start stacking them at 8 o'clock in the morning because we got to get, before we even get to bracket play, we got to get the round robin in. So this was the schedule for Sunday. Bootsy at 8, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30 if he wins the championship. Okay? Not bad. On the road, 12:45. I can do the math. That's not bad. I can live with that. NBC, 8 a.m., 9:30, bracket play, 12:30, and if they get to the championship, 2 o'clock. Fine. Okay. Beamsy, 11. So now he has to sit at the place for 4 hours waiting to play. 1:15 for bracket, and what was supposed to be 12:30 became 2:45. Lucky enough, Bootsy won the championship. Good job out of him. NBC bounced in the semifinals by Denver Elite, bounced them. So, and yes, by the way, teams are flying from Denver to Cincinnati to play. Not just 13-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 9-year-olds. They were all there. Team from Minneapolis, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. Beamsy's team's in the middle of the semifinal. And what is the worst thing you can hear on the planet? Lightning. Because you know what lightning mean, Bake?
30 minutes minimum.
And what happens when another lightning strikes?
30 more minutes minimum.
And one more?
Oh, well, 30 more.
And even if you wait 15 minutes and there's another flipping lightning strike, what does it mean?
30 minutes every damn time.
That's right. And then you're standing there like everybody else on a phone that has no reception because you're in a place in the middle of nowhere. You're you're praying that apps load, but they don't load because there's no cell service and there's no Wi-Fi. You are at the mercy of someone who is probably paid from some conglomerate out of Philadelphia to run the damn thing, and no one has the stones to make a decision on anything. So guess what you're doing? You're just sitting there in the rain, in the middle of nowhere. Just sitting there at the mercy. And all you want is people to make a decision. So he's in the middle of the game at 2 o'clock. It's now 3:15. We're just sitting there, sucking down, concession stand hot dogs. This is my Sunday. This is what's happening. 3:15, nothing. This was after we were told there'd be an update at 2:30, nothing. So now it's kind of cleared, but I'm looking at radar and I'm going like, there's stuff everywhere. There's no chance we're playing. Like, they didn't lose a game in the whole thing. The team they played in the final, they beat 12-2 the day before. Just crown them and let's go. No crowning. Kids are out there warming up. The team from Pittsburgh, they were playing the semifinal, they're out there warming up. Guy comes over on a golf cart. 3:45. We're canceled. Go home. Dude, you could have done that an hour and 45 minutes ago. Hour and 45 minutes ago. So,
you want to crown them, then crown them.
Dude, how was your week off, Bake?
It was fantastic. And you know what? I feel even more better about it now after hearing your rant about yesterday.
Dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? What am I doing? I gotta. All right. So that's it. Thank God it's over. I'd say there was good quality family time, but there was very little. Like, you just go from one thing to the next. So, Bake, want to hear about your vacation. The boys are here. The Great Bake is back. Jacob is here as well. Lots to get to. We got Scotty winning at the Open in just tremendous fashion. Of course, I saw none of it because, of course, there's no televisions, there's no cell, there's none of it. So I caught up this morning on kind of his weekend. We'll get to that. And, of course, Big Ten meetings in Vegas. We're off and running on a Monday edition. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Got a less than stellar auto loan? It's time to switch and save with CME. CME wants to beat your current rate by 1.5% APR. Plus, you won't make a single payment for 90 days. That's 3 whole months with no car payment and a better rate for the long haul. It's fast, easy, and smart. Refinance with CME today. Terms and conditions apply. Minimum floor rate of 4.99% APR. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org for additional details.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. And when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. Now, I'm not Bryson, a mad scientist, but that sounds good. It's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards every swing. But from personal experience, lose 75 pounds like me, and it's next level distance. Way better consistency, energy, and mood, especially on the back nine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180 degree weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
The outdoor drama Tecumseh is back this summer. The drama, the history, and the spectacle make Tecumseh one of Ohio's most beloved traditions. Tecumseh has provided thrilling live entertainment for 50 years, and the outdoor theater at Sugarloaf Mountain will provide a safe and memorable experience for your entire family. Get tickets now at tecumsehdrama.com. This message is made possible in part by the Ohio Arts Council. Tecumseh, experience the drama.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more benefits, more rewards. We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritaSOH.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty sunny throughout the day today. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Mid-80s for your Tuesday. More sunshine, near 90 sunshine for Wednesday. We could see some rain chances start to filter back in by the end of the week. But overall, a lot of quiet weather to enjoy over the next few days. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
And we are proudly brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. There's an inevitability. I got a text from a buddy. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. So then we DoorDash food like on our way home and eat the dinner. My wife was asleep in the bed. I'm not talking about fell asleep. She was asleep in the bed by 8 p.m. Done. Like that's just done. Just completely done by 8 p.m. That's what happens. So I missed Scotty, which sucked. I had a feeling based on the way that it started out that this was possible, how this thing was all going to shake out. I had a buddy of mine, Nick, who's texting me this while I was in the middle of all of this youth sports stuff. And he said, is it possible that Scotty is too good and he is too, I forget exactly how he worded it, but so good that it's bad for golf. And I think what he meant was, and I saw Jensen Lewis tweet this as well earlier this morning, is essentially you can't bet a winner in a major anymore because Scotty wins. He's won 2 this year, and he's in the mix constantly. And this one, there wasn't really much to it. He kind of ran away from it. That he's so good that he's so automatic that it's not great because you're not getting those battles down the stretch. And I tend to think that greatness, I'm in for it. If something is transcendent that we've never seen before, I'm in for it. The Tiger stuff there's a lot there because there's a lot to unpack just of how long that road is. But there is no question that they are all chasing him, and he is well out in front of everybody else. He's in the mix always. He's 1-2. The golf season, by all intents and purposes, for most casual fans, is now over. The majors are in the books. Here is Scotty on winning the Open and trying to describe the feeling.
I think we live now in a day and age of where, clickbait is kind of what people look for, and you can shorten a 5-minute clip into, 3 words. I think really underestimates what I was trying to communicate. Maybe I didn't do as effective of a job of what I would have hoped to in communicating that, but, at the end of the day, I have a tremendous amount of gratitude towards moments like these. I've literally worked my entire life to become somewhat good at this game, to be able to play this game for a living, and it's one of the great joys of my life being able to compete out here, and to be able to win the Open Championship here at Portrush is a feeling that's really hard to describe.
Bake, you watched a lot of this. How would you describe what you saw?
Well, I don't know if I will even say I watched a lot of it. I got to see some of it yesterday because I was in here for the fan call-in show and then Fan Sports Sunday, so it was up on the TV screens. But when I saw, as we headed to the airport Saturday night, I saw that he had a 4-stroke lead. I was like, oh, this is over.
It's done.
It's like the question wasn't if he's going to win this Open. It's by how much is he going to win this Open. And I heard Scotty Vegas yesterday on the Money talking about that, him saying the best bet on the board right now was, I can't remember, maybe plus 150 or something, that he'd win by 5 strokes yesterday, which is pretty crazy. I think that argument, though, about he's too good, I think that's absolutely bogus because, Scotty's been dominant, and there are comparisons to Tiger, right? But he's not what Tiger Woods was. And Tiger Woods changed golf. You know, it might change what we're seeing here and why Scotty's so good, because these guys make so much money. As you always say, what's your why?
Yeah, right.
And these guys make so much money, they don't have to struggle to make it.
You don't have to grind.
Yeah, it's not the way it used to be. You won one tournament and you're set for life now. And Tiger changed all that for these guys.
The LIV guys, too, like they got that stuff up front. A lot of it, half of it, sometimes half that money up front.
And none of those guys are doing anything right now. Is that the reason why? I don't know. Yeah, but and even Bryson, disappointing first round for him. He played great after that and was awesome yesterday. But he kind of put himself out of contention from day one. We just talk about this all the time. Like, we love the underdog in March Madness, but come the Elite Eight, Final Four, get the hell out of here. We're not watching. We want to see greatness. And this is great for golf right now.
Jacob, what do you think? You watch more of it than anybody. You were setting your alarm, buddy.
Yeah, I said it was over after the first day when he only hit 3 fairways and still shot 68. Yeah. Like, he was doing things that, like, he's been a good putter and he's improved, but he was the number 1 putter in the field this week. And if he's making putts and he's hitting his shots like he always does, no one's going to have a chance. It's going to be done. I think he switched putters. If you remember, Rory kind of influenced this, kind of had an Oppenheimer moment, telling Scotty to go to the mallet putter. And since he switched to the putter, he has won 13 of his 32 starts, including 3 majors and an Olympic gold medal, 40% of his starts. Like,
that's a Tiger stat.
Yeah, I mean that's
a Tiger stat.
That's ridiculous, and I'm with you guys. I think it's great for golf. We want to see people kind of like a Tiger or a Michael Jordan kind of separate themselves, but we want to continue to see stuff like that happen as we go on. We want to see more dominance.
Beck, you were saying that Scotty was asked about the Tiger stuff, right?
Yeah, he was. Here's him responding to the Tiger comparisons.
I still think they're a bit silly. Tiger won 15 majors. It's my 4th. Just got 1/4 of the way there. So I think Tiger stands alone in the game of golf. He was inspirational for me growing up, and he was a very, very talented guy, and he was a special person to be able to be as good as he was at the game of golf. And I don't focus on that kind of stuff. That's not what motivates me. I'm not motivated by winning championships, and I don't look at the beginning of the year and just say, hey, I want to win X amount of tournaments. I want to win, whatever it is. I don't do that. I have dreams and aspirations that I think about, but at the end of the day, when I wake up and to practice, I feel like what motivates me is just getting out and, getting to live out my dream. I get to play professional golf, and I feel like I'm called to do it to the best of my ability. And so when I wake up in the morning, I try and put max effort in each day. I get to go out and practice, and when I'm working out, when I'm doing the cold tub and doing recovery, like I feel like I'm just called to do it to the best of my ability. And outside of that, I don't place much emphasis on winning tournaments. I don't place much emphasis on things that I can accomplish. It's just mostly about putting in the proper work and coming out here and competing.
I think when we look back on this season of golf, and I do feel like for most people it's done. I do. I think for most fans, they're cooked. When they move the PGA into May, you're done at the Open. People aren't watching the FedEx. Golfers are, and I'm not disparaging you, like people who love golf or gambling, that fine. But in terms of the general fan, unless you have a tournament in your area, you're done. It's done at the Open. So I think this will be about 2 things. I think this golf season was very good for the game of golf. You had Rory finally completing the career Grand Slam in one of the most bat-blank crazy Masters you've ever seen in your life. I mean, that was, when you look, just go back. There's going to be a 30 for 30 on his back nine. Because you don't win Augusta shanking a chip. Mm-hmm. You just don't do it. And he did it somehow. So it'll be about that. It'll be about kind of his awkward month or so afterwards that was a little different. And it'll be about Scotty. There will be some remembering of just how brutal Oakmont is, but I think J.J. Spahn will largely be anonymous. That this will be a golf season that will be about Scotty and Rory completing the Grand Slam, and they're the two biggest stars in golf. Right now they are. And so that's a win for the game.
Yeah, it's interesting with Scotty just how, where this is in comparison to everything, and he doesn't play against the Brysons or the Koepkas or the Rahms every week, but he gets them in the majors. Yeah, it's terrible. And, I was going back and trying to put it in comparison because the Tiger comparisons are there. It's kind of like Tiger from 2003 to 2005. Like 2000 to 2002, Tiger is just the most ridiculous thing ever. Like he won 6 tournaments in a row. He won 6 majors. He was just so dominant. But if you look at Scotty's numbers from 02 or from 2022 to this season to Tiger's 03 to 05, it's pretty comparable if you can put that into kind of perspective.
Yeah, it's Woodsian. His dominance is Woodsian, and the fact there's also some jack to it in the fact that even when he doesn't win, he's there.
Yeah,
he's never not there. And he's always lurking. He's in the mix. He doesn't blow up.
And that's it right there. He doesn't blow up. Like he makes a mistake. He made that double bogey yesterday, and I looked at Scotty Vegas and I said, "It's all right. He'll birdie the next hole." And what did he do? He birdied 9. I mean, it just each shot is its own thing for him, and he doesn't waver from that at all.
I think that was the one time that on this run I've ever seen him like have a mistake like that. Like I felt like he may have felt comfortable with his lead, and he was like, okay, I'm going to try and hit out of this pot bunker a shot that probably won't get out of here, and it hits the front of the lip and comes right back to him, but then makes a birdie the following hole. And that's the thing, like Bones was talking about it on the call. He was following the group and they were asking him about him and Tiger, and he was like, the main difference between the two is that Scotty is just so focused. He keeps his head down and he's just, I'm locked in on my game, and we don't see him make mistakes. He's just hitting greens, hitting the safe shots, and then 2-putting or even making the putts for birdies.
Yeah. And he does it for a decade. Maybe he can track it down. And we're up against it, but we have an interesting fan poll question on this in regard to will he get to 10 majors? And we'll get to that a little bit later. But I think the safe bet on that, guys, is no. That's the safe bet, because we've had guys get to here and have little moments, but to getting to 10, it's just such a long, long road. The long road to the College Football National Championship is about to begin. The Big Ten is having media days. They've picked a new champion. And guess what? The Big Ten says Michigan's good. I believe we had that. It's coming in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free, guaranteed.
Call Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Your neighborhood Kroger pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger pharmacy for details.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Here's what's up on a Monday as the Big Ten is convening in Las Vegas. Why Vegas again? I don't know, but that's where they are. Why this week? I don't know, but this is what they're doing. Let me just ask you guys this. If Dan Wetzel writes something, does he miss very often?
No, I mean, he's one of the reliable ones out there.
Yeah. So used to be at Yahoo, now he's at ESPN. ESPN's been trying to get him forever. This is his reporting this morning. And I believe we had this. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti sent the NCAA a letter arguing Michigan deserved no further punishment in its advanced scouting case. It's notable considering Michigan's past contentiousness, Wetzel writes, toward Petitti when he first suspended Jim Harbaugh in 2023. He continues, in the letter to the NCAA, read at Michigan's June infractions hearing, Petitti argued that the 3-game suspension the Big Ten handed down on Jim Harbaugh is sufficient punishment in the case for the program. He also reminds us all that the NCAA charged Michigan with 11 rule violations, including 6 deemed level 1. So that's like DEFCON. That's the most serious. The Committee on Infractions does not have to follow on Petitti's opinion. A ruling is expected before 2025. And people say, well, hold on. The most aggrieved are in the Big Ten. Why would he do this? Why would Tony Petitti go to bat for Michigan after they fought with him so strenuously in 2023? Why would he do that? Because Michigan's good for business. Michigan's good for business. And you know who he answers to, Petitti? Does he answer to university presidents? Yeah. You know who else he kind of answers to? His television partners. And if you're Fox and you're CBS and you're NBC, do you want a neutered Michigan program? No, you don't. Because as it stands right now, you have 2 entities that you can build television shows off of. One of them's this one and the other one's in Ann Arbor. That's it. They play all the big noons. All of them are Ohio State and Michigan. Okay? You can't play big noon at Eugene. You can't do it in Los Angeles. Can't do it in Seattle. Not that they're on even the level or in the vicinity of level of what Ohio State and Michigan are. It's bad business to punish Michigan. And it sucks for people around here and people right up the street at the Woody who were aggrieved by what happened, and rightfully so. And you've said before, hey, I was pissed about the first part, but they won the one last year. And I understand it. But they did wrong here. It was a conspiracy, and they're going to get what amounts to a slap on the wrist. Because I think the NCAA is going to follow much more closely in line with this than anything that's going to make anybody down here feel satisfied by it.
And it's baffled me all along that people thought things were coming.
Me too.
That people thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna get the hammer. The NCAA is gonna come down hard on them. It's gonna be death penalty. We're gonna fine them big money. We're gonna take recruits. We're gonna take away their wins in their national championship. No, that was never, ever going to happen. Because you can't have Michigan, if you're the Big Ten, go through that. What you need are programs that move the needle. And we hate it here, but Michigan is a program that moves the needle. They won a national championship through all of it. And it always was crazy to me that people thought they were going to get hit hard.
I hope we're wrong.
But we're not.
But I don't think we're going to be. I don't. I think when the commissioner of the Big Ten says we're good, and you're the NCAA and you don't have really teeth anyway, like by the way, Petitti's more powerful than the NCAA. If Petitti and Sankey want to go do their own thing, they don't even need the NCAA. Do it on your own. You don't even need it.
Even if they don't act like it.
No. Right. Even if they don't want to act like they are. So this is where you're at. Like, it's not going to. I know folks up there, and I know a lot of you out there listening want a pound of flesh on this thing. And I know that we've been on this side of it. Not thinking that this was right, but thinking that we've been trying to prepare because this is what I always thought would happen, that it would be very minimally. We've done so many shows about what would be the sweet spot on their punishment. And the only thing that I could come back to was hit them with financial punishment because I didn't think anything else was going to happen. And maybe they still will. Who knows? And I hope that I'm wrong, but there's business involved here, and there's a lot of mouths to feed, and you need them. I remember Three's talking to me. He and I were talking about the recruiting and all of that, and the Penn State versus Michigan, kind of where do they all, and I've talked to other people in the recruiting world about this, that their brand, like the Michigan's brand, like I always thought that Penn State and Michigan were kind of similar brand wise. That was my perception, but the reality is that Michigan is more closer to Ohio State than Penn State is to Michigan in terms of the brand, if that makes sense. So yeah, you need Bryce Underwood to stay there. The Big Ten needs him to stay there, and they need Michigan to be relevant, and they need them to rate, and they need them to be television shows. So if he writes it and Petitti's pushing for it, my hunch is that's probably where you're going to be. Doug LeMaurice forever, when he was at Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer, and the Cleveland Plain Dealer used to be in charge of this. They would do the preseason Big Ten media poll. When he goes to Kings of the North, he still does it. Except now it's the Kings of the North Big Ten preseason poll results. You got 54 voters who cover the Big Ten and National College Football. He didn't ask us, which a little hurt. Did not ask us for our polls, but 54 people who do. He got theirs. 1 through 18 predicted order of finish, and the predicted order of finish by those who cover this league is Penn State number 1, Ohio State number 2, Oregon number 3, Fish is going to walk around pantsless at the fan golf outing now. Illinois 4.
Well, I mean, he's in shorts today, so that's pretty close. But
they're coming off. We're a Columbus Country Club, aren't we?
Yeah.
Pristine. Love that place.
So keep the shorts on, please.
Keep them on, Fish. I know you're jacked
there.
Up. He's all jacked up. The Illinois is 4. Michigan is 5. Indiana 6. USC is 7. Nebraska 8. Then Iowa 9. Then Washington, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Oh, Luke.
Does Luke survive if they finish 12th in the Big Ten? God. Michigan State 13. Michigan State will be better than 13. I think they'll be better than 13. I think that guy can coach it. UCLA 14, Rutgers 15, Maryland 16, Northwestern 17, and Purdue is 18. So, reactions to that, fellas?
I think just looking at the bottom there, man, how far Purdue has fallen.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the Joe Tiller years and the Drew Brees, and Purdue seemed to be a threat. I remember them upsetting Urban Meyer.
They beat us. Rondale Moore running wild.
Yeah. I don't think Iowa's 9th. I feel like Iowa's better than that. They always are somehow. I feel like Iowa will be up there. And I agree with you, Bo. I think Michigan State is a little better. I think Jonathan Smith in his second year there with Childs back at quarterback, I think they will be better than that.
I'm with you guys, too, on the Michigan State take. It'd be nice to see them as well towards the top of the Big Ten. Just like from what they were a decade ago, they were always in the mix. It felt like, I mean, they came into the shoe and beat that team off the national championship that had hopes of doing it again back-to-back years.
Yeah.
And then they got to the playoff, and they really haven't been anything since then. But Jonathan Smith, he had some good years at Oregon State, and I believe after getting a year under his belt at Michigan State, it'll be good to kind of get them going in the right direction again. We'll get a very early test on Wisconsin having to go down to Tuscaloosa early in the season, like we were mentioning last week talking about Alabama. But that'll be the real ticker right there on if they can be better than what they're projected.
I'm not so sure Illinois isn't top 3. Now, I know they're not as talented as Oregon, obviously.
I'm not ready for that.
But I'm not so sure like they're not top 3 because
I love Bielema.
They only have one guarantee, and there's no guarantees, right? But they only have one game on their schedule where you're like, they're probably losing that, and that's Ohio State.
It's a really good point out of you. If you actually look, you're right. On the Illinois schedule, it's really navigable for Bielema. Very navigable.
7.5 is their over-under? Come on.
We did that this summer.
Yeah.
We were, over. Yeah. So that one makes sense. So you remember last year when we first got the college football video game, and there were a couple of teams that always showed up. Like I think it was NC State was somehow always like in the playoff. Like they won the ACC a lot. Like the game just loved NC State. The two teams that I've seen, I did one season with Ohio State, and the boys have done $150 billion. And every time when they get to the end, I'm like, let me know when you get to the playoff because I'm curious who makes it. You know the two Big Ten teams that make the playoff? And Penn State and Ohio State make it every time. Every time they're in it. The other two Big Ten teams that I see most often in it are USC and Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the other two. So both those guys need it. Both those programs need it. The Big Ten needs it. That I don't buy it, but that's in most of them. You see a lot of Nebraska being ranked. If I had to pick the one that I think is going to free fall, I don't buy Indiana. I think that was a perfect storm.
I'm with you.
Don't you think, Jake? That was like a perfect storm last year. He brought all of those transfers with him. Like now, can you back that up? There might be people who say, look, I don't buy the Buckeyes. But if you're going to buy the Buckeyes, you have to buy the quarterback position. 11 Warriors, among others, talk to them. You're going to hear from both Lincoln Keenholz, Julian Sayin. That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And for a limited time, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231-231. CASH to 231-231. CASH to 231-231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
I think last year we were doing the show before the Cardale Jones softball, and I hadn't even really been thinking about it, but it clicked in my back of my head. We were talking about the home run derby thing, and we said, and it clicked in the back of my head, oh, God, Kienholz was like the National Player of the Year baseball guy. Like, that dude can bomb, just stud dude athlete. And then he did. He won it. And then he won it again this weekend, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
I think he even beat the pro. I think he beat the pro. They had like professional pro softball players there that do it all the time, travel around the country. And I think Kienholz got him after the final of the Buckeye Home Run Derby. He took on the pro and then beat him as well.
You can't, like, if he doesn't win the job, what do you do with him? He's just a supreme athlete. Like, if he doesn't win the job, what? Do you know how good of an athlete you have to be able to do that?
This is a kid that could probably, maybe not at Ohio State, but also be playing baseball in college and basketball in college. Both.
No, there's no question he could. Yeah,
I think he hit one over the actual fence at the Clipper Stadium too.
No, he hit like in the final against the pro. It's not the short fence. You have to hit it out of the stadium, and he hit 4 out.
I just saw the home run derby like at the beginning, and like he was hitting one over the actual minor league fence.
Yeah, it's just, and I want to say I remember Ryan telling me at an event I did that he's like a scratch golfer too.
Shocking.
Does not surprise me.
Yeah. So basically just good at everything is what it is.
You want to play tennis? Let's go. You
do anything. He has not the personality at all of that, but that's how Leaf was. Like Ryan Leaf was like that. Like he was the best football player. He's the best basketball player. Like in the state of Montana, if he would have played baseball, he would have been the best at that. He just was good at everything. Good golfer, everything.
Jacob and I were cutting up this sound this morning.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing we were talking about is I think it's going to be the biggest difference this year in this Ohio State team is talking to the quarterbacks because Will was such a pro, like a coach. Yeah. Talking to the media last year, and these guys are not that. They're very short, succinct, quick to the point answers.
Yeah, Will was like getting an NFL quarterback. He's
for sure.
Yeah, pro. Let's start with Lincoln. He's got some good stuff here. Let's start with the year that is in front of him in terms of for his career.
I think it's just the people, coaches. Columbus is awesome. I mean, that's a big reason why I chose Ohio State, since Columbus is, it's a great spot for sports and tradition and everything like that, and schools will.
So you embrace that competition?
Yeah, for sure.
And, Bo, that was the wrong one. I played the one about why he stayed here in Columbus and competed.
Those are the two I wanted to hear anyway, so the order of it doesn't really matter. The other one was the big year for his career.
honestly, I think this year's like a big year for me. It's honestly a defining moment for my career. Like I feel like it is because I'm in a position to go out there and play a lot or start depending on what happens on fall camp. But I mean, yeah, it's a great time, great spot. So.
Yeah, this is 11 Warriors with this audio. The great Dan Hope doing the interview. Good job out of him, and we appreciate that. Here is Julian because one thing, I mean, this is your year 2 of the program. He enrolled early, Southern California kid. I mean, it's crazy, like a Southern California kid and a South Dakota kid. These two could not be more different in about every single way. And you're both just tremendous quarterback prospects. One of the things that if it is Julian in the game, it's presumed that it will be. He's like an 85, and I think Lincoln and Tavian are like 80s. Here's Julian on the responsibility of being a leader this year.
We definitely need important leadership just because of how many players we lost last year. You know, we had such an older team and it's a younger team this year. But it's definitely important to have these leaders step up and definitely embrace that role.
Both of the guys were at the scrimmage station at Friday's Special Skills Football Invitational, a camp for athletes with special needs, is the Woody Hayes. So that's very, very cool out of that. It's in one of them we trust. It's in one of them. I think most of us presume that it'll be Julian. I think that's probably wrong. I think he's got the lead. If we learn anything from Ryan in past competitions, even the ones, this is a real one, by the way. I don't think this is a CJ Stroud one where like, are we really doing this? Like, clearly at CJ's. This is a real competition. It's been brewing all off season. It brewed through spring. I think there was a time in spring when Lincoln maybe went ahead. I mean, this is just conjecture. And then at the end, I think Sayan had a great spring game and kind of maybe went back ahead. But I think this will be a competition that will play out. And if you're looking for an early answer to pick one of these guys, don't. I do think the Texas game changes it a little, but I also don't think that he's going to be in a big hurry, you know, when we're out there broadcasting first couple of days of camp to name a starter anytime very soon.
I think it's very interesting because I think there's some parallels in sports right now with what's going on with this Ohio State quarterback position. Like Scotty Sheffler, he's not a guy that was highly touted, jumped off the scene. Maybe wasn't the best college golfer, but he's kind of worked his way into being the best in the world. I think of what we've got going on right now with like TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, and Trey Henderson. Like we put Myles Garrett and TJ Watt in a class above Hendrickson because the starts they've had to their career and they were high draft picks. But production-wise, Trey Hendrickson has worked himself into a guy that's had numbers just as good as them. He may not be quite as good as them, but he's right there. It's almost like we all give it to Julian Sayin and think he's the guy because he was the highly touted prospect, you know, five-star guy coming in. Everyone knew about him. He went to Alabama, then switches and comes here. I think this competition is a whole lot closer than people think, and I think it's really pretty close to 50-50. And I just don't think people are giving Lincoln Keenholz enough credit in this thing.
It's funny when I'm listening on that because you're right on everything you said about Sayin. Keenholz was the USA Today National Athlete of the Year. So, you know, he was you know what I mean?
Like, but in football, he wasn't.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. He was a 4-star guy. You're right. But like just from even the guy who's unheralded is the National Athlete of the Year coming out of high school. So look, this is going to be a fun thing to see how it plays out. I think if you would give true serum to Ryan, the Texas opener changes it a little. But my counter to that would be, and this is a hard thing to admit, but it is the real truth, you don't have to win the opener against Texas now. It's not it's almost like a great exhibition game with a 12-team playoff. I mean, that's not going to affect your ticket prices. You're going to pay $75,000 to get into the thing. But in terms of like what's at stake, it's perception, and it's just a massive kind of like preseason game is kind of what it is.
And I would think because of that, we'll see both in that game.
I think you could. I don't think it's got to be like this is our guy and we're good. I think you're right. I think that's very much in play. All right, second hour of the program coming up. Nits will blitz the weekend first. Bill Bender going to join us at 10:30. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Oh, hey, the best football team in the country's on the best radio station in the country. Congratulations, Buckeyes. Here's to 100 more years together. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Win big at Eldorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity sales event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Master Grillers Unite.
The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus.
Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself
And check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Now's a great time to save on cherries. Fresh picked red cherries are on sale for only $2.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Adam Sheffler here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. Scotty Sheffler became just the fourth player to shoot 68 or lower in all 4 rounds in the Open Championship history to win his first Claret Jug. His 17 under par was 4 strokes better than Harris English, who was second at -13. It's the 4th major championship for the world's #1 player and second this year. The Cleveland Guardians got a series win yesterday. They beat the A's 8-2 up at Progressive Field. David Fry, a career-high 4 RBIs in the win, and Hel Martinez, a homer. Gavin Williams gets his 6th win of the season. The Cincinnati Reds couldn't complete the sweep. They fall in New York to the Mets 3-2. Andrew Abbott strong in the loss. 6 innings, just 2 runs, and he struck out 5. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Monday edition. Time to blitz that weekend. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present the Weekend Sports Blitz.
All right, Jacob, what'd you have this weekend?
I believe I had Phil Mickelson having the coldest take of 2025, saying, here's a hot take. Does Scotty,
Go ahead.
Does Scotty win in 2025 before the Ryder Cup? I don't think so. That was on March 16th this year.
Wait.
And now he's got two major championships and 1 leg away from the career Grand Slam.
Phil in March said that he won't win another tournament until the Ryder Cup?
He won't win in 2025 before the Ryder Cup.
Wow. What are we doing, Phil?
Freezing cold take.
Sheesh.
What did you have?
I believe I had, and one of these probably wasn't going out far on a limb, and if you know about the other, it probably wasn't either. But I believe I had that the final of that home run derby contest at the Cardell Jones softball game this past weekend would be Lincoln Keenholz and Joey Velasquez. And that's exactly what it was. I know that's easy to say when you know that Keenholz was the defending champ and was what he was. And Joey Velasquez at one time was the #1 baseball prospect in the state of Ohio and actually was a starting outfielder for Michigan's baseball team for a while. But I said that would be the final, and it was. So there we go.
Think about that. Keenholz that's how good he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I believe I had that hotel at U Sports, hotels with restaurants in the lobby are undefeated because after a long day of sweating in places you don't want to sweat for hours, all you really want is a cool shower and to be able to walk to the restaurant and be able to have a decent meal. That's all you want. Those things are undefeated. Good job out of the Marriott I think it was Northwest. I don't know. It's in Mason. It's a fine hotel. Did fine. Good job on the restaurant. Much appreciated. I did not have that. What did you not have, Jacob?
So last week, after Thursday, I was going all in on Bryson DeChambeau not playing well on links golf courses and in the Open Championship. Well, I did not have him finishing in the top 10. And certainly after the first round, it didn't look that way with a 7 over 78. But then the next 3 rounds, he proceeds to go 16 under. And if he doesn't have a bad first round, we very easily could have had just a head-to-head Scotty versus Bryson to decide the Open Championship. But it was cool to see him finish top 10. It gives me some hope that when he plays St. Andrews in a couple years, when the fairways are just wide open and he can bomb it, that he might have a chance at winning in that one.
We were so close to something really cool. It's just Scotty's so great. But like Bryson at 9, Rory at 10, Xander at 10, Bobby Mack was at 10, and then Harris English, the villain Wyndham Clark, those guys. But you were close.
Take Scotty out, it'd have been a hell of a Sunday.
Really would have been. He just lapped the field a little bit for everybody.
But if Bryson shoots maybe 1-2 over instead of 7 over,
you're right.
They're going head to head on Sunday.
Yeah, he went 78-65, 68-64. You're exactly right. Yeah, he was better after that first round. I did not have. Did you guys see this? So the WNBA All-Star Game was over the weekend. They were wearing this "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts for the WNBA players. You got to be careful with that in terms of It's on a rocket ship right now, but and I do think they're underpaid, but be a little careful with that. Kelsey Plum, did you see this? Kelsey Plum goes on and takes a shot at Caitlin Clark about the T-shirts or about the meeting that they had. Why is she why is Kelsey Plum shooting shots at Caitlin Clark? What did she ever do to you? She's elevated all of this. And Kelsey Plum, maybe because you were her before Clark, why would she go at her? I don't have the answer for I'm asking. Why would she go at her?
It's crazy that they all hate the girl that's enabling them to wear those shirts.
Right. I just don't understand it. Jacob, you follow it?
Yeah.
Did you see the soundbite?
I think I heard it this morning. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Just going after the girl that is bringing all of this spotlight and attention to your sport. The little rivalries that all of them are trying to form with Caitlin Clark, it does not make any sense.
I think they do it to elevate themselves. Like Sabrina Ionescu was sitting right next to her and she was like, well, I don't know if that was necessary. She flat out said it. I don't think that was necessary. All right, player who impressed. Who do you got, Jacob?
So I'm going to go to the NBA Summer League here with potentially the steal of the draft this year, and that's Nick Clifford from Colorado State. The Sacramento Kings, they did lose in the Summer League championship to Charlotte, and I think these stats are before the championship game happened, but Nick Clifford in the Summer League was averaging 18.5 points per game on 58.3% shooting from the field, over 50% from three, while also bringing in 6.5 boards and 5 assists dished out. Him falling to the Kings outside of the top 20 was insane to me, and he's proving that he will be a steal for this draft.
That team is such a mess, though.
That's true. But he'll get the run, though, because it's such a mess.
You're right, he will.
Player that impressed the most for me is our guy Tyvis Powell. And I know we give him a lot of crap all the time. But my guy made a bet with T-Bone and said he was going to put one out this year at the Cardell Jones Celebrity Softball game. And my goodness, my man went out there and did it.
Did he do it in the Derby or in the game?
In the game.
Okay.
And he said it was almost to the warning track at Huntington Park. What he said, I don't know. I wasn't there to see it. It's what he said. But I just know when I got the text and he said, I got one. I was like, my guy, there we go.
It's awesome. I'm going to give it to all three boys, Beamsy, NBC, and Bootsy. It's just absurd, to wake a kid up at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, go, get showered, get something to eat, go to the bathroom, you play in 2 hours, and we got a 30-minute drive. And then just sign up for that kind of all summer. And just good job out of all of them. I didn't do any of this stuff. I hope we're doing the right things. They seem to be enjoying it, but it's a hell of an ask every single time. And it's not, I never take lightly the fact that they get up and they go compete. Good job out of them. Player who disappointed.
That would be for me, Victor Hovland. I'm going to stick with the Open Championship because that was really the only thing that was in the spotlight over the weekend. Yep. But I was so high on Victor Hovland going into this Open Championship. He had played well in the Opens leading up to it. I don't think he finished outside the top 20 in the last 4 times he played in it. And he played well at the U.S. Open, finished top 5, and I think he was top 10 at the Scottish the week before. I was like, he is the guy that needs a major of the group that doesn't have one. And I felt like it was the right timing. But then a couple 2 over par rounds on the weekend just didn't make any moves when there were a lot of low scores out there.
Player that disappointed for me, the same player that impressed, Tyvis Powell. I mean, he got one. He hit that dinger, and then he did not act like he has been there before because you could have timed that home run trot on a sundial as slow as it took him to get around the bases. And he'll tell you that Jacoby Boren threw the glove at him at first base, and he had to throw it back. And then that when he was rounding second, he realized the cameras were on them, and he was trying to find those. And then when he rounded third, all the kids ran up and wanted an autograph.
Sure, they did.
We got to get around those bases a little quicker. Next time, you're going to get plunked if you do that.
That's exactly.
That would be electric to see in a softball game.
Someone plunk him. All of a sudden go overhand and just plunk him. I'm going to go Tony Petitti here. It's to petition the NCAA. You knew that was going to get out to go soft on Michigan. I get why he did it. It doesn't mean I'm happy about it. He's got a big week ahead of him. He's got a big week. Sankey has gotten the ACC and the Big 12 aligned with him. They are the 5 plus 11. Petiti wants the four automatics for the Big 10, probably to preserve the Indianas of the world that he's worried about. He needs a big week. He needs a very big week. We haven't heard from him much all summer. What we have heard, a little bit on Klatt, and now this. He needs a big week. Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. Who do you got, Jacob?
That would be Scotty Sheffler's partner in crime, Ted Scott. The duo that they have with him caddying for him has just been unbelievable, along with the run that Scotty is having. I mean, Ted Scott's been making more monies than some PGA Tour players have been making the last 2 years. Yeah. He's putting himself in the conversation as one of the greatest caddies of all time.
Good life right now for Ted Scott.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Yeah. My Bud Kilmer honorary head coach of the week this week is our own Jacob Reimer, Bo. I mean, everybody knows that you're the Jeremiah Smith on this team, but the guy on that side of the glass is the guy that keeps everything moving, all the parts going and all of that. And Jacob Reimer, he's been the Ryan Day over there the past couple weeks on this show. I feel like we need to get him a shirt that says honorary friend. He's been here so much. So my guy Jacob, he's been keeping it going the past couple weeks, doing a hell of a job.
He's done a great job. Very, very good job. And it's been great having him on board. And he is more than an honorary friend. He's friend of the program for sure.
I appreciate the honor.
Absolutely. We'll get you. There's going to be a nice. We'll get you a nice blazer that we'll get to you soon. Maybe a smoking jacket.
Yes.
Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. 8 a.m. Bootsy's team was the 1 seed in the knockout. They had beat the team that they are supposed to play in the game the previous day. Like, unfortunately, this happens. It was like 18-2. Okay, so this was going to be another beatdown situation. The guy on the other team coached his kids in a dinosaur onesie.
No way. That is
fantastic.
Awesome.
Dinosaur onesie. Now, they got bombed, but the kids loved it. The only thing that was a little disarming is one of the kids got hurt, and then all of a sudden you see like a dinosaur onesie guy like run out onto the field to check the kid's health. That was kind of a little bit odd. But other than that, I thought, damn good job out of you, bud.
Do you have a picture of this?
I know somebody does. I definitely. It wasn't the Barney one, but it was kind of had that look to it. Remember the old Sinclair gas station dinosaurs? It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like one of those guys. This is what it looked like.
Pretty
awesome. It was pretty good job out of him. I had to just tip my hat and almost respect it. The NFL is reporting a guy who was a big-time draft pick not too long ago going under the knife and setting the table for a quarterback derby that is no longer, we'll get to that, who is in Cleveland and who is in Cincinnati and who is not, coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK does two things differently.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
So the donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
Your neighbors are happy, and the planet is healthy.
What's number two?
We have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service.
And that's good for your neighbors, and for the planet.
And for you, because we can come the day you call us.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the Nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the U.S., drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Factory direct is really pretty simple. The factory sells it directly to the consumer. I mean, we build it. There's nothing that anybody else does. We have stations where everybody touches the window. Everyone sees what's going on. So if there's an issue, we catch it as it's going down the line. That's probably the biggest thing, is the ability to make sure what goes out the door is what I want to go out the door.
Visit Rizzotti Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by July 31st.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity sales event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fans YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Birb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Hey, Ohio! The best summer adventure is almost here at the Ohio State Fair, July 23rd through August 3rd. Don't miss fair favorites like the Butter Cow, livestock animals, shopping, delicious food, exciting entertainment, thrilling rides, competitions, and so much more. Experience the Ohio State Fair July 23rd through August 3rd. Get your tickets at ohiostatefair.com.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty sunny throughout the day today. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Mid-80s for your Tuesday. More sunshine, near 90. Sunshine for Wednesday. We could see some rain chances start to filter back in by the end of the week. But overall, a lot of quiet weather to enjoy over the next few days. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nesting that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Pretty interesting move today down in Nashville. Will Levis, who is a full participant in the Titans' entire offseason program, elected today to have season-ending surgery. So he was there all off-season, and then he waited till now, and now he's having the surgery. So what that tells me is that he wants to be compensated while he's been under the knife, which he would be, but he wanted to enjoy his summer. That's what it seems to me, and he's going to spend the year rehabbing. Look, he doesn't owe them anything more than they owe him. They drafted Cam Ward. Probably a pretty smart business decision to do it, to do the rehab during the season. But I imagine that isn't something that the Titans were keen on. Or I see they put out a statement, but I can't imagine it's what they wanted.
And it says he injured the shoulder early last season.
Yeah.
And then aggravated it later in the year. You would think, hey, I'm going to get this done right away after. Wonder what the reasonings are here. It makes me think like, well, he wanted to make sure he stayed and competed for a job, or maybe he realizes he's not going to win the job and he's like, well, let's just get it done now. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't, it seems the timing is really strange.
Yeah, I think it sets up a situation where, I think I have it. Like I'm in a rehab during the year, and I wanted to have a nice summer, and I'm still under contract, and so I will. So it does. I did see Sam Block with this. This group of quarterbacks, first or second rounders from 2021 to 2023, Levis, I mean, Levis was a second rounder. We all know that. We remember Gia Duddy quite well. Zach Wilson, though, second overall. Trey Lance, where was he? Third, second overall. Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, Kyle Trask, Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields is on his third team. Those are all either first or second round quarterbacks from 2021 to 23. Now, there is Jaden Daniels, and we'll see what Caleb Williams does in year 2. And a lot of people think highly of Drake May. But it goes to the point of just when you're on that never-ending hunt for a franchise quarterback, there is no blueprint for it. You have to trust your process. Your process has to be right, and even sometimes it can be undone. There is no sure thing. There is no automatic in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence is a great example of this. And I know he's had a weird start to his career, different coaches, all sorts of things. His rookie year was a mess, obviously. But I thought he would be a top 5 quarterback. Everybody thought he would be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL by this point. And to this point, it hasn't happened. So it's just hard to land on these and to know who can hit and who can't. And it's almost like if you just take this kind of approach of like, and this is like an old Ron Wolf Packers approach, but like draft one in every class and hope you hit on somebody. That to me, I would sign up for that until you land one. And honestly, even if you have one, that might be sound anyway. Draft a quarterback in every draft and just see because you can certainly flip them because there's a need for it all over the league.
Bo, I wish I could find it. I must have got rid of it. I had this bookmarked in my Twitter for a while. But the quarterbacks, all of the quarterbacks drafted since 2021, and it's not great. And then you just named a lot of them there. In like 22, you got Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis. Like there's just, maybe Brock Purdy, C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels. There's not a lot that have been drafted since 2021 that have hit.
I do like somewhat of the Bengals blueprint when they drafted Joe Burrow. And now I know Joe Burrow is like completely different than a bunch of these.
I like drafting Joe Burrow too.
Well, but like if you're going in on a quarterback in the first round, then follow it up with a receiver to go with him and give him some help that way, because that's what we're seeing. I feel like is these quarterbacks are going to not great situations. Now, yeah, you have to have an offensive line to protect him, but you can also do that in the draft as well.
It's one of those things where, I mean, that's kind of like what you just described is like the Washington situation with Daniels. Like he landed into a very friendly spot. Weapons, decent offensive line, decent defense. Okay, let's go. Chicago, you would say the same about Caleb Williams other than the coaching, because weapons aplenty, right? But they just didn't have the coaching all on the same page. So it's so hard. I mean, it's development, it's situation, it's nurturing, and then it's on the player. It's just the hardest thing to do in sports is to land one of them.
And that's the other thing with QBs now. We don't give them time. We don't nurture them. We don't, by the time they've been nurtured or learned the league, they're on their third or fourth team by now, if it doesn't hit right away for them.
Well, that was Bradshaw's beef with the Steelers with Pickett, that they didn't give him a chance. I mean, that was his whole thing, was like, what chance did he have? Speaking of the Steelers, you guys see their new uniforms they're going to wear, their alternate uniforms they're wearing this year. So it's similar to the Bumblebee ones that they wore a couple of years ago. And I don't remember what pant they wore in those, but it's almost like a khaki pant, like a throwback pant. It's a yellow jersey with black stripes, kind of like the Bumblebee with a yellow hat on it. I know why teams are doing this. I get it. It's about the money for sure. But are we sure this is something that is needed at all? Like, who's rushing out to go get this? And Steeler fans love their jerseys, but like, are you really going to walk by like a black 58 Lambert and scoop that thing up? I don't get it.
Sometimes more isn't better. A lot of times more
Most
isn't.
times.
We don't need all of these different things. There are certain tweaks you can make to a Steelers uniform, but you don't need to overhaul it like some of this. It looks bad.
Yeah, not good. Couple other things around the NFL. The rookies and quarterbacks have reported last week on Thursday. This was before our show had come to an end. There was this Shamar Stewart situation in Cincinnati, and there was a report that he was going back to Texas A&M and he was working out. And you thought, well, what would preclude him from, if he doesn't get a contract worked out in Cincinnati, for him to just go play at A&M for seven figures again. Well, we did get some answers from that from Mike Elko, the coach at Texas A&M. And I should also remind that he's not the only second-round pick unsigned. Most of them are unsigned because I want to say it was Houston gave guaranteed money to their second-round pick, and so now all of them want guaranteed money. So that's where kind of that is. But Mike Elko, with these comments on Thursday afternoon, there's no intention of Shamar to play for the Aggies this year, but Shamar has been around. He's very comfortable in our program, really likes what we do training-wise. He's been training, getting ready for this season this year with the Bengals. We wish him the best. They got to get those especially in Cincinnati cannot be screwing around with this. They don't have time. They don't have. Stewart's not in camp right now. I'm sure Trey Hendrickson's going to sit out. Like, let's get these guys in. This is a go for broke situation in Cincinnati. For Hendrickson, I'm less worried. Joe Thomas once told me I need 3 days to get ready, but Joe was never really not ready. I assume Trey's a pro like that too. Give him a week and he'll be fine. He doesn't need to be there for camp. But you got to get Shamar Stewart in camp. You got to get him there, and you got to get him started. So we'll see what comes of that. The Browns rookies and quarterbacks reported on Friday. Of course, Quinshon Judkins not among those. He is still dealing with the legal situation down in South Florida, which is a massive blow to the Browns, because I think he's going to be a big part of what they were going to do offensively. I really do. I think he was going to be the bell cow, and they're going to kind of build a lot of things off of him and the depth of that running back room. And now who knows where that stands in terms of his availability. Both quarterbacks were in the mix. Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. They're going about this very different ways. I mean, Shedeur is a brand, and so you see everything that he does on social media. Dillon isn't. Does things very, very different. I would tell you this, that in terms of what they were doing in minicamp and what I think you will see when this gets going is Dillon Gabriel was working on a much different set of skills than Shedeur was. They were really feeding, like for Gabriel, it was drinking out of a fire hose. They basically treated him like, let's see if we can get him ready to start week one, along with Kenny Pickett. So I think that's probably what you'll see when the Browns finally start to get to work is Pickett at the top, Gabriel underneath, and then Shedeur below that. Shedeur throws a beautiful ball. There's a lot of intangible stuff that you like with him, but it'll be interesting to see how they manage that and how Kevin Stefanski managed that once they get to put the pads on and get to go a little bit. Remember, the reason we're starting this early is because all of these teams now have this ramp-up period before anybody can put on a helmet. So that's when they're reporting, like camp isn't started. They're just out there, and that's kind of the way that it goes. So that's how you ended up in the spot that we're in if you're like, boy, this seems like we're reporting early. They are. But you're not getting a whole lot of work done at this point. Bill Bender of the Sporting News. We're, a week from Thursday, we'll be starting Ohio State camp. We have media days in the SEC last week, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12 was a couple of weeks ago. Talk to Bill around college football coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for $2.99 with your digital coupon. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
You know that thing called AI? Supposed to make the workplace super efficient? Well, there's something better. DI, Delicious Intelligence. It's tech that helps make work efficient and yummy. Leading the DI revolution, Easy Cater, a workplace food platform that connects you to tons of favorite restaurants with tools to save time and stay on budget. Need tacos for $20? Falafel for $40? A variety of vegan breakfast sandwiches? Now that's a tasty prompt. Join the DI revolution. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
I timed it out on that Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. He is one of the great friends of the program, one of the great dudes around town. He's a great Bill Bender of the Sporting News, and he joins us there. All right, let's start. Big Ten Media Days kicking off in Las Vegas. Penn State, the pick from our buddy Doug Lee Maurice, Kings of the North, the media pick to win the Big Ten. If not now, when for them? How do you think Franklin will handle this week as the favorite? Is that skin he's comfortable walking in?
Hey, I think, well, one, I participated in that poll, and I had Ohio State first. Let me just say I had Ohio State first, so people don't come blaming me. I think he's going to do what he usually does. He'll deflect on their opener. We're focused on the opener. He probably will get a lot of Ohio State questions because for Penn State it really is the Ohio State question. Can you beat them for the first time since 2016? Can you win a Big Ten championship? You are in an all-in year with your running backs and Drew Aller and what you have coming back on defense. And I don't, though I've asked this question to you, I think, what is it takes pressure off James Franklin? And there's no easy answer, but I do think it starts with Ohio State when you go to Columbus.
I think you're right. I don't think he has to win the national championship, although what my counter to that would be with everybody replacing quarterbacks except him and LSU, and Clemson, if not now, when, right? It sets up for him to be able to do it. But I don't think anybody over there saying, if he doesn't win the national championship, he's gone. I do think that if he doesn't beat Ohio State this year, if not when, hell, he got to the semis last year. He's doing everything that I just don't know if he's ever going to have a path this advantageous again, where he's got the two backs, he's got the returning quarterback. Ohio State doesn't. Michigan's starting over, Oregon's starting over at quarterback. It's just, this does feel I think they should be the pick. I'm with you, Buckeyes or Penn State, but I understand the Penn State pick entirely.
Yeah, so do I, and I understand that with Penn State, they've had seasons where we've seen the hype. You go all the way back to '94. They had that team. I was the LeVar Arrington team that lost to Minnesota. Feels like this team, where the hype is going to be real, and can you go through a playoff? And one of the things that I've thought is with this new playoff era, if we just labeled the semifinals something cool, like we do in basketball, you'd be like, hey, he has a Final Four appearance.
Yeah.
Steve Sarkisian has a couple Final Four appearances. Can they actually go win the whole thing? There's a difference between the pressure Ryan Day took off himself last year and that constant pressure that James Franklin and Sark and others that are trying to get that first ring face.
As usual, you may be onto something. If we give it a name, then you can hang a banner, right? There probably should be something to making the Final Four in the NCAA, well, not NCAA, but the college football playoff. You're probably right on that should be a set of accomplishments. This is a big week for Tony Petitti. And I saw our buddy Dan Wetzel with some reporting this morning that Petitti went to bat for Michigan against the NCAA and the Committee on Infractions. I've been saying really since this happened that I don't think Michigan's going to get much in terms of penalty. And a big reason for that is I thought it's just not good business for the Big Ten to have Michigan be down. So he's got that he's going to be asked questions about this week. And he's got the playoff operation he's going to be asked a lot of questions about this week. How do you think he will handle it? And we don't see him much, doesn't talk much. How do you think he'll handle it? And what do you how powerful is he willing to be on this? How is he going to stick his chest out, especially, Bill, in regard to the playoff?
Well, I think there'll be a prepared statement, as usual, that tells us all how great the Big Ten is. And right now, the Big Ten has a pretty good hand. You've won back-to-back national titles. Ohio State beat two SEC schools on the way to the championship last year. They're bringing in more revenue. He's more of a TV guy, as you know, so there'll be a lot of talk about how much revenue is TV in the future and how great being on all the networks is. But I'm interested to see if he doubles down, so to speak. That phrase has been used a lot in the last couple of weeks about the 4 automatic qualifiers, which I wonder if that's their, like, we're going to hold this over the SEC's head until they play 9 conference games, and it feels a little bit like that.
Is that a battle that's worth fighting for the Big Ten?
I don't think so, because
I don't either.
You know, you're going to get 4 or 5 playoff teams every year, and if we're talking about squeezing in the 6th playoff team, so let's take that Cleveland.com poll this morning. So we're saying that Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, do they have Illinois 4th, right?
Illinois 4, yeah.
And if you get Illinois and Michigan in a 16-team format, what Big Ten fan is going to be mad? You know, that the 6th place team did it? We're good. We got the 5 teams that we think can maybe win a national championship or make a run. Maybe not all 5 can win it all. But you get the teams you need to get in a 16-team format, and the SEC will too. So I don't know that this is a battle worth fighting.
I don't think it is, because I think that any reasonable person can say that conference with 12, I mean, all you have to do is just look at they added Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, they added those teams to. I mean, it's you didn't add that quality of opponents. You've added Rutgers and Nebraska and UCLA and Washington. Yeah, you got Oregon and USC, but USC ain't what that used to be. So to me, I just think it's not a battle worth fighting. And I think you're worried about the wrong things. And it seems like the other ones who are going to make the decision on this are aligned with Sankey on the 5+11. Here's the other thing, Bill. Most fans don't care at all. Nobody here cares because the Buckeyes are going to be in it every time, no matter what. And so it really comes down to, like, why is this the hill for the Big Ten to die on? And to me, I just don't see the pound of flesh equaling out for them.
Yeah, and I'm just dying to go to one of my son's lacrosse practices and say 4-4-2-2-1-3 just to see if anybody knows what I'm saying. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. And one thing in the 12-team format, though, that I have paid attention to is, and it's in our projections as well, every year I think it'll go 4 Big Ten or 3 SEC or vice versa, and the one team taking playoff berths away is Notre Dame. You know, every year Notre Dame gets one, they're not taking one away from the ACC or the Big 12 or the Group of 5. They're taking one off of the SEC or the Big 10, and that's something to keep in mind when we go to 16. Again, you're going to get 5, you're going to get 4, maybe 5. What are we complaining about? And I do think Greg Sankey walking back kind of his talk from the week before and kind of throwing support around the 5-11 model is what most of these commissioners want. And I think it would make sense as long as they keep straight seeding. That's all I want. Seed them correctly. Let's not start, moving the seeds around. And I do want to see how the 12-team works with straight seeding. I think it'll be a good thing.
Me too. I think I'm fine with. I think 8's really nice. They're never going to go back, and I think 16 could get crazy, but that's probably inevitably where we'll be. All right, Ryan Day he's got 2 quarterbacks. He's got 3. He's got 5-star Tavian St. Clair too, but I think most of us are aware that it's two quarterback situation here with Keenholz and Sand. Ryan Day is going to talk a lot over the next couple of weeks before practice starts next week, and then he's going to talk damn near every day. How do you think he will manage? And he's done this before. We've had a lot of these quarterback competitions, but some of them didn't really feel like that, right, Bill? I don't think the C.J. Stroud one did. Certainly last year felt like it was Will Howard. The year before with McCord and why am I blanking? 33.
Devin Brown.
Devin Brown is at Cal. Blanking. Yeah, that one was legitimate. This one is very legitimate. How do you think he'll handle it?
Well, I think he's going to get asked a lot of questions about Tavian St. Clair because Tavian's the new guy. Mm-hmm. And the new guy always creates a lot of fascination. But, you know, going in through the spring into this fall camp, you got to make sure you have the right guy because that guy is going to be under so much pressure going into the Texas game where the other quarterback has a famous last name and was the star of SEC Media Day. I do think Julian's saying it's his to lose in the fall in some ways. But, you know, Ryan Day is going to have to hold this as long as he can. Fall camp will be important. You're right, it does feel different. My personal favorite was when we had Earl Haskins and Martell in spring practice, Tate Martell. And, Tate was new, and everybody loved Tate.
Yeah.
So You know how this works. I mean, everybody likes that new quarterback. But, I do think Julian's saying whoever starts, it doesn't matter which one, gets to throw to Carnell and Jeremiah and Brandon Ennis and several others. So, that person's going to do a good job in that spot.
I do think the 12-team playoff changes the Texas game a little bit, too, and we'll have a lot of time to talk about it in terms of, the Texas game is just a really cool exhibition game. The loser of that game is not done by any means, no matter what happens with a 12-team playoff. So I think that change, I don't think he has to be like, this is our guy, we're good. I think he could even maybe potentially play both in the Texas game if he wanted to.
I agree, and it's not like I had this talk with Tim May earlier on 97.1 where he was a little upset, and Tim rarely gets upset about it being the opener. And I said, no, I love that it's the opener.
Me too.
Because week one, we want these blockbuster matchups, and there's going to be a lot of excitement. It should be at 8:00, but that's a story for another day. And just having these brands, because I feel like there's less. I don't want to sound petty, but it's less on the line with Texas and Ohio State because I think their path back to the playoff is fine. Versus that LSU Clemson game, the loser's going to feel it.
Yes.
I think they're going to feel it a lot more because the loser of that game has a more uphill climb than Ohio State or Texas would to get back in the playoff.
Absolutely they do. And Kelly's never won an opener there. So, they just want to win one would be nice, Bill. Good talking to you as always, my friend.
Hey, have a great week, Bill. I'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
All right, there he goes. The great Bill Bender of the Sporting News joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
You found the one, now find the ring. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. On July 25th and 26th, Wedding Weekend is back with event-exclusive pricing for 2 days only. Celebrate with buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and 10% off handcrafted custom bridal. It's the perfect time to upgrade, personalize, or say yes for the first time. Join us July 25th and 26th on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and neither suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. That's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards on every swing, but from experience, lose 75 pounds like I did, and now we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood, especially on the back nine. And actually, every pound you drop takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
We're sending Austin and Berm to Vegas for Big Ten Media Day, and they're sharing a double bed. Hear from Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, and Ryan Day. It all comes your way Tuesday on YouTube and the 10 TV Plus app.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees Wilson to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Monday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
President Donald Trump wants the Washington Commanders and Cleveland Guardians to revert to their former names. Trump said on Sunday via his Truth Social site, the Washington Whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team. There is a big clamoring for this.
I got to stop. He put them both together.
Yes.
He went Redskins and football team. Just make one big name. All right, go
totally
ahead.
bypass the Commanders, but put the...
Right, put the two previous names in there.
Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past. Our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systematically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. We are a country of passion, common sense. Owners get it done. Josh Harris, whose group owns the Commanders, quieted speculation about going back to the former name, saying it would not happen. Guardians president of baseball operations Chris Antonetti indicated before yesterday's game against the A's that there weren't any plans to revisit the name change. Thing or not a thing?
Well, it's not a thing because the two owners say it's not happening. So that's it. This was it. If you can just be reasonable for a second. There's one issue with both. Okay, that was always going to be the case, and it was headed to this way no matter what. The Washington issue was with the name Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
If they were the Washington Indians with that logo, they would have been fine. And they could have very easily given a percentage of proceeds to Native American causes, and they've got a bunch that are desperately in need of attention. So that's it. I grew up south of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation, about 50 miles. And we played them. They were in our league in basketball, football, played the Heartbeat Warriors, played the Browning Indians, played those teams. And this was the problem with Cleveland. It wasn't Indians. It was Wahoo. And what I always said on that was, if you think that there's no problem with it, go put on a Wahoo hat and walk down Main Street in Browning, Montana, and see what happens. Because they don't want that. But they loved the one that the Redskins used, the one that was like the iconic chief. They loved that. They had great sense of pride in that. So that was the problem with both of them. It was the name for Washington, and it was the logo for the Indians. If they just took those entities and put them together, they would have been probably fine.
Yeah, it would be a cool thing, I think, to go back, but it's not going to happen. Like, kind of just build off of what you have now. Make new legacies with these new names. I guess it would be kind of cool if they would go back, but no, just keep it what we have now.
I always thought it was interesting that the Guardians got away, or they went away from Chief Wahoo, and then they changed the name like a year or two later, and it was like, well, why did the name have to change? I don't know, and it's, it is what it is at this point. It's just interesting. Bo, I've heard you talk about, Florida State working so closely hand in hand with the Seminole tribes to, try to make sure everything is good on those fronts.
The details that they went through. I was there this was at the hotbed of this like 20 years ago when like Chief Lenowik went away at Illinois and like Syracuse Orange Man became the Orange, like all of those things flipped, in the 90s into the early 2000s. I was at Florida State when they were trying to press them to get rid of the Seminoles. And Florida State went to the Seminole tribe of Florida, and they said, what do we need to do? And the Seminole tribe said this, and this. So if you go to Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, there is a Seminole tribe of Florida flag that hangs over the stadium. If you look at Chief Osceola, who's the mascot, they don't call it a mascot, but whatever the name they use for it, the horse is selected by them. The costume, the stuff that he wears was selected by the Seminole tribe of Florida, and they were able to get organized on it. They tried doing the same thing at the University of North Dakota with the Fighting Sioux. The problem is that there are the way I understand it, there were two Sioux tribes in the state of North Dakota, and they hate each other. So they couldn't figure out a way to make it work, but they tried with that one too. There's a way to do it. You just have a little bit of common sense with it. And I think the problem with both the Washington situation and Cleveland were they were different, but then kind of the same.
In a letter sent to Oakmont Country Club members earlier this week, club president John Lynch said the club had banned Wyndham Clark after he damaged his locker at the U.S. Open. Clark, 31, could be permitted to return to Oakmont if he pays for damages, makes a meaningful contribution to a charity selected by the club's board, and undergoes counseling and or anger management therapy. Kevin Kisner was on NBC's coverage of the British Open this weekend, and he had this to say about it on the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody in the situation handled it properly. Wyndham probably could have nipped that in the bud with an earlier, more justifiable statement, but locker rooms are supposed to be sacred. Not sure how that picture got out. USGA can help with that, and I think if everyone just sat at a table face to face, that situation could go away pretty quickly.
Thing or not a thing?
You know what? You know how it could have gone away quickly? If Wyndham Clark would have apologized on the spot and paid for it.
Exactly.
Nobody would have known a damn thing. So what this is Oakmont, and then in turn the USGA saying, not only did this clown do this, he didn't apologize and he didn't pay for it. This is just an obtuse human that could have solved a problem in a second and instead decided to be petulant about it. And so Oakmont said, fine, here's an image. Will you pay for it now? He hasn't paid for it yet. So that's why they did all of this stuff. Like, doesn't he have to go, like, anger management and counseling?
Yep.
Here's what will be interesting. The next Open at Oakmont is 2031-ish.
Yeah, I believe that's right, because he would be right around, that's where his exemption ends, pretty close to that.
Okay, so if he has, first of all, I cannot believe it's gone this far. And now at this point, I'm sure he's just going to be stubborn and not do anything. But if the USGA has teeth and says you can't play here in 31, that'll be a thing.
Well, I think the week after that at the Travelers, he had a good opening round, so he was being interviewed and everything, and they were asking him about it, and he kind of brushed it off and was like, I'm just kind of ready to put it past me and move on. I'm still trying to make the Ryder Cup. I'm still trying to win tournaments, and was kind of just pushing this incident to the side. So obviously it felt like he didn't care about it, that he did damage to a very high-level country club. I don't see him doing a bunch with it either. It sounds like he's trying to work with them. But yeah,
what is there to work with?
I
Just
don't
write
know.
the check.
Yeah.
Here's $30,000. That'll get it done.
Does he want to avoid the anger management classes? I feel like.
Well, that I think is them just sticking it to him, don't you?
Yeah.
Like they don't care about that.
It's not the first instance. We saw it at the PGA Championship.
Bo, you
write the check.
When Kevin Kisner says this, it makes me think what has happened in PGA locker rooms in the past that we don't know about. But second, it makes me think of the movie Liar, Liar, where Jim Carrey's client calls him and is like, hey, I did this or whatever. And he gets on the phone and says, stop breaking the law, a-hole. Like, stop doing this, Wyndham Clark. What? Yeah. Control yourself.
Grow up, man. Grow up. All right, final hour of the program. We're halfway home on 20 most interesting programs. This is our last one, I think, in the SEC. I think we're done with the SEC here. It is South Carolina. They are the nouveau riche of the SEC. Is it time for them to finally elevate to a much, much higher plane? It's in play for them. A lot of you vacation there. We'll get into it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
You know that thing called AI? Supposed to make the workplace super efficient? Well, there's something better. DI, Delicious Intelligence. It's tech that helps make work efficient and yummy. Leading the DI revolution, EasyCater, a workplace food platform that connects you to tons of favorite restaurants with tools to save time and stay on budget. Need tacos for 20? Falafel for 40? A variety of vegan breakfast sandwiches? Now that's a tasty prompt. Join the DI revolution. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Now's a great time to save on cherries. Fresh picked red cherries are on sale for only $2.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If Baths R Us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. Scotty Sheffler was dominant start to finish in winning the 153rd Open Championship at Royal Portrush this weekend. His 17 under par was 4 strokes better than Harris English, who was second at 13 under par. It's the 4th major championship for the world number 1 and his first claret jug. The Cleveland Guardians got a series win yesterday. They beat the A's 8-2 up at Progressive Field. David Fry with a career-high 4 RBI in the win. The Guards start a home series with the Baltimore Orioles at 6:40 tonight. The Cincinnati Reds couldn't complete the sweep. They fall in New York to the Mets 3-2. Cincy heads to D.C. to start a series with the Washington Nationals at 6:45 this evening. Coverage on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6:15. And Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis will miss the upcoming season. He's going to have shoulder surgery on his right throwing shoulder.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, before we get to South Carolina and 20 most interesting, you two are both native Ohioans. Was the state of South Carolina always a popular destination spot for folks that grew up around here?
I feel like Myrtle Beach has always been. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that's just because golf in Central Ohio is so big and there's such good golfing down in Myrtle Beach and always has been. We used to take a trip to Myrtle Beach all the time for golf. So I think so because of that.
Yeah, for me growing up, it was all going down to Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle. We'd go to Hilton Head a few times, but now my big family trips have transitioned into going north into North Carolina, more like Holden Beach area. It is very crowded. And
like the South Carolina beaches?
Yes. And it can get a little annoying sometimes. Where we've been, we've kind of had our own little area. It seems like Holden Beach is on its little own private island type thing that you have to cross a bridge to get to and everything. So
yeah, it feels to me like the state in the last, like I didn't know any, growing up where I did, obviously nobody vacationed there. And when I was in Florida, nobody went to South Carolina. They would go to Destin or Panama City or Pensacola, whatever. They'd go there, or they go south, go to the Keys, whatever. So nobody went there. But then when I came here, it was like, oh, everybody goes to Hilton Head. Everybody goes to Myrtle. Everybody goes to Isle of Palm. All these people go to Charleston for bachelorette parties especially. I tell you, Amy and I were there 2 summers ago. The rickshaw kid who was driving us around, they got rickshaws there that drive you around like bikes because it's so congested. Good-looking kid. And I said, well, how did you end up at College of Charleston? His other choice, I want to say, was University of Tennessee. And he goes, look around. It was just bachelor parties everywhere. And I went, oh, target-rich environment. I get it. This comes back to, though, what I want to get into with South Carolina. So let's do 20 most interesting, the Gamecocks.
As college football draws near, Bishop and Friends present the 20 most interesting programs. Spoiler alert, Rutgers isn't one of them.
South Carolina is, though. They have Lenora Sellers coming back. They have Shane Beamer in year 5. It feels like they're solidified. Dylan Stewart is a stud, 5-star. Here's the thing with them, though, and this is what makes them interesting to me. When I would look at South Carolina, when I was in the South 20 years ago, one of the things I was looked at them and I would say, God, that feels like a sleeping giant to me. because there started to be these programs down there that would produce big-time high school talent, the Jadeveon Clowneys, and if they could keep some of them at home, but they were always behind Clemson in their own state, and they were such a bottom feeder in the SEC that they just could never get over it. And anytime we talk about South Carolina, it would be like, yeah, but I don't know that it matters that much there. But part of what, and that's why I want to ask you guys a question about vacationing in Hilton Head, why I wanted to bring up the Charleston stuff, because the reality is there has been a massive shift south population-wise. People go to those places and say, I could live here, and they are. They're moving to those type of states. There's an incredible population boom that's happened in the state of South Carolina, North Carolina too. And so what's happened is the talent in that state has gotten better and better and better. The other thing that's happened is, and South Carolina benefits from this, Clemson benefits from this, the world's gotten smaller. Clemson, I've not been to Columbia. It's a hole in the resume. I've not seen a game there. But I've been to Clemson, and Clemson is as remote as you can be. But what's happening is, because the world's gotten smaller, FaceTime, all of these things, there's been this incredible influx of kids who are going to school down there. And they're all a part of it. And you look at this South Carolina team, and you look about it's really, Lenora Sellers is interesting. Dylan Stewart's interesting. Their schedule is interesting. But what's most interesting to me is, can South Carolina find its spot here? Because they are the nouveau riche of the SEC. They aren't old money. They're not Bama. They're not LSU. They're not Florida. They're not Georgia. They're not Tennessee. They're not any of that. They were historic bottom feeders till Lou Holtz finally won there a little bit. Spurrier won there a little bit. And now they think they maybe have something with Beamer. We'll see after Muschamp fell on his face. He's 29-22. This is the team, by the way, that the SEC said, well, if not Alabama because we lost to Oklahoma, then you should have taken South Carolina. And then South Carolina lost to Illinois in the Citrus Bowl. So they've got a lot to prove this year. The question is, can you ever build something there? South Carolina is kind of like, they're a little bit like, are they probably the Indiana, the Big Ten? That's probably the comp. It's kind of like the Indiana. Can they be a team of record? And is this the team to do it? Their schedule, it's pretty good. They do have to travel to LSU. They get Bama. They're at Ole Miss. Of course, they play Clemson in their crossover game. Virginia Tech is a non-conference. If they're good, we're going to find out pretty quickly, because their schedule for their standards is pretty ambitious, Bake.
Yeah, I picked up Phil Steele's magazine this year, and the night before we've done all of these, I've read up on them. He has South Carolina as the fourth toughest schedule in the country this year.
Yeah, you read
so
it.
It's pretty ambitious. It's pretty difficult. And I don't know about South Carolina this year. I think Lenora Sellers is really good, and I love Dylan Stewart. That guy can be an absolute game wrecker. But they've got 9 guys from their defense last year that are on NFL rosters right now. 5 of those guys got drafted, and 4 of them are UFAs. So their defense, especially that front 7 that was so good last year, is going to be a lot of new pieces this season.
I felt like they were they had a good year last year, but like when we saw bits and pieces of them playing in some like high level games, like I think when they played LSU at home and game day was there was so much there that you can build off of this, and it looks like the fans are very passionate in the area, and they have a lot coming back. So like if that really could be like an Indiana of this year, what we think to be Illinois of this year as a team to get into the playoff there and sneak in from the SEC.
They got their setup last year. They were buried early, so they lost 3 in a row. They lost to LSU at home, 36-33. Sellers didn't do much in that game, 9-16, 113. Then they got bombed at home by Ole Miss, 27-3. Lost a close game at Bama, 27-25. Then they have a little bit of success. They hammer OU. They hammer Texas A&M. They beat Vandy. They beat Mizzou. They beat Clemson last year, fellas. That was when everyone was pounding their chest. Wait a second. Clemson got in. Well, Clemson got in because they won the ACC title game, and that's the only reason Clemson got in. But that Clemson win was like, okay, they deserve to get in. It's like, wait a second. You lost 3 games in a row, and they were, we lost ranked games. And then, by the way, Sellers did play in the game against Illinois and lost 21-17. So they to me feel like there's a couple of these SEC teams that we've done that feel like kind of the poster child for what Sankey's talking about with an eventual 5+11. They're going to be one of these teams when you look at their schedule and you're going to say they went 9-3, but they played the 4th toughest schedule. What do we do with them?
Yeah, and you talk about that last year, that LSU game really hurt because they had that one. They were up double digits in that game and let it get away from them. If they win that game, they probably are in the college football playoff.
Did Sellers get hurt that game? I partially feel like he did.
He might have. I can't remember. I was reading.
9-16 in it. Let me see if he went down in that game or not.
Yes, he missed the second half of the LSU game. That's correct.
So they only threw it 4 times in the second half because the kid who was the backup went 2 for 4.
Yeah, Robbie Ashford, who has moved on this year.
Since moved on, yeah.
I just think it's going to be very hard for them. That defense last year was so good, and a lot of those guys, like Demetrius Knight, he's going to be a key part of the Bengals defense this year, they hope. The safety that got drafted, everybody thought he'd be in the first round, but ended up getting drafted at the top of the second round, was very good. They lose their 5 leading tacklers from last year's team, and that's tough to replace.
Yeah. It's one of those programs where most people have them usually in the teens. There's going to be 4 SEC teams, well, for sure 3, borderline 4 who get in. They're going to me, as we've finished all this SEC, and I wasn't here on Friday when we did. Jacob, were you here Friday with Reese and Tim?
Yep.
Okay. What was your takeaway from the Texas 20 most interesting?
That they're going to be as expected. They're going to be one of the top teams in the country all year. No matter what happens that first week against Ohio State when they come here, we think Arch will be what he's as advertised to be.
Isn't that crazy if that kid actually lives up to all of this?
Yeah, that would be nuts.
Part of it. But if they're at the top, then a lot of these, and I like Oklahoma's over a little bit. I'm not sure if that's shifted. I think Meador will do a nice job there. But it's the South Carolinas, the Tennessees, the LSUs, the Ole Misses. Like all of these teams are going to be fighting for those last spots. Bama could be in that mix. Even though they got a ton of talent, they could be in that mix fighting for those spots. Chris Marler is going to join us at 11:30, host of Locked On Gamecocks. Between now and then, we hit the categories on the Gamecocks. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Hey, guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot. And not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financial incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate you snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, it stops your snoring. That's the point. It's quick, it's comfortable, and it's an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea. And he's helped countless patients breathe easier, sleep better, and live healthier, more energized lives. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Schedule your appointment now with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that's sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Our customers are wonderful to work with. They're intelligent, they've done their research, they like what they see, and that, I think, is the biggest reason why they come to us, because they know that they're going to get an excellent window, excellent installation, and excellent service. We're good at what we do.
Visit Brazotti Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by July 31st.
I hope you're ready for all the Jackets talk you can handle. Join us Wednesday night at 7 for the Inside Edge.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida. Discover the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.com.
The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty sunny throughout the day today. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Mid-80s for your Tuesday. More sunshine, near 90. Sunshine for Wednesday. We could see some rain chances start to filter back in by the end of the week. But overall, a lot of quiet weather to enjoy over the next few days. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. Producers, co-hosts, friends. Some of those things are true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time to hit the categories on the South Carolina Gamecocks. What do we? What's the song here? What are we dealing with here at Carolina?
So, Step to the Rear is the fight song for the Gamecocks.
Most synonymous, I think, with Sandstorm, right? I mean, that's the one that they play at their games that everybody goes nuts for with the light show and all that. I think that's no, that's not the school song. That's just like their hype thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it. I'm going to tell you this. Of all the mascots I've seen in person, this one terrifies me the most. Like when they put that sucker on the game day set.
Don't let me have no birds.
Nope. You could put Bebo on the set. Fine. Ralphie. Cool. Ugga, of course. Maybe Mike the Tiger. You put Sir Big Spur up there. Kindly leave.
Spurs up.
His name is Cocky, too.
Of course it is. Well, no, that's Cocky's the mascot. The actual rooster is Sir Big Spur.
Okay.
Yeah. NIL portal grade on South Carolina. What do you got, Jacob?
I'm going to give it a B. They were still 15th in the transfer portal, and they were 24th in recruiting for the freshman class. But, I mean, you brought back Lenoris Sellers, which is huge, and a lot of people expect he could be in the Heisman conversation. And Dylan Stewart, I think, is going to be a problem, too, like you guys were mentioning earlier. So I'll just give it a B. It's not like what we're dealing with last week with like Texas and Alabama and them being at the top, or LSU with the number 1 portal class. So, with what they retained, I'll still give it a B.
So I initially wrote down C here, but the more I've looked at it, I think I'm going to bump it up to a B or a B minus. They had 18 guys in the transfer portal come in, 23 go out. Their player rating, though, Bo, is a little higher than some of the schools that are ahead of them. Yeah. So they did a good job bringing some guys in. I think running back Rasul Faison from Utah State, he's probably going to come in and start for them this year. They got a couple good guys on the defensive side, and, of course, they solidified their quarterback spot behind Sellers with Aaron Nolan coming in from here as well. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go about a B minus here for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think B minus C plus is probably where you want to be. It's important always to measure not just where they are in the recruiting rankings, but also like where the average player grade is. So, for example, in 2026, they're 24th in the country. So they're right around Illinois 22, Syracuse 23, Arkansas 25, Ole Miss 26, Minnesota 27. But their player rating is 91.23. The rest of those schools are in 87, 86 world. So in order to get to like an average 91 player, you got to get all the way up into the low teens. That's like Clemson, Tennessee, Florida State, Florida, Michigan, Miami. That's that level of player that they're bringing in. So they can attract big-time players. I do think that it's entirely, though, dependent right now on they are not a national player really at all. They have to keep homegrown players at South Carolina, and there's enough of them, but it's a fist fight between them and Georgia and Clemson and Tennessee in that mix. So that's the thing that's a little tricky for them is they're just right now they are just not a program that can go outside of their footprint much at all. Would Buddy Garrity want to run their collective grade, Jacob?
Well, I know I would. I'd want to be down in South Carolina, at least with the warm weather. I don't know. I think Buddy would. I think he'd want to give it a shot.
Man, there's part of me that wants to go a little higher on this because they can pull in the Dylan Stewarts, who we know Ohio State was trying to recruit and thought maybe they had a shot, but then he stayed home.
Yep.
I just don't know how much money is there. Maybe in the future the money is coming as more people migrate south and head to that area, but I think it's just a C right now.
I'm going to go C+. I think I'll split the difference on both of you guys. I think that it's a challenge. I think it would be a challenge. I think it'd be a little bit like him running East Dillon when he was trying to fundraise at East Dillon. Like, it's just a tougher job than when you're trying to fundraise for the Dillon Panthers. Campus social life grade at the University of South Carolina, Jacob.
I'll give it an A-. It's South Carolina. Like, why would you not want to go to school in an area down there where it's always warm? You don't have to worry about much. Like I was mentioning, it looks like they do get up for their football program, so the support is there. So I'll give it an A-.
I think I'm going to give it a B. There is a lot. I don't know how much there's to do in Columbia, but there's a lot of stuff not far from Columbia that you could go to. We mentioned Charleston. We mentioned Myrtle Beach. I don't think Atlanta's too far either. So there's a lot of things you could do around campus. There's a few lakes there as well. So I think it's a B.
I don't know that any of these SECs that we've done could be lower than like a 90. Like on the old 1 to 100 grade scale. I think they're all A- minimum. And I think this one feels like that too. Couple of things, Bake, I'm sure you know this, Jacob. I'm not sure if you've even seen the movie, but the stadium that they use as the home stadium in the program is Williams-Brice Stadium. So that's they play for Eastern State, which is modeled off of Florida State, but the stadium they play in is Williams-Brice. Also, as a strange aside, it's odd they played a Big Ten schedule, because didn't they play Iowa and Michigan in season that year in the program? I think they played them both. I think they play both Iowa and Michigan. Eastern State does. Poor Joe Kane. So they also have their color scheme's pretty great. The mascot's pretty great. If you're of a certain age, there's a company called The Game, which made white hats that had names of teams on them.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Did you have one?
No, I went with the a Shockers route in the Wichita State. But
of course you did. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely love that one.
So the Woody one was really cool here.
Mm-hmm.
Just said Woody. And the Gamecocks one was the most popular.
Yeah.
My buddy Eric Meyer had one, wore it proudly. It was like, who could be the first one to get it? He raced down to Shields Sports, and they had one, and he scooped it up. So, I think it's probably a 90, though. I think they do very well. Do they wear the right uniform grade?
I mean, it's not like you're like an iconic college football look, I guess, like when we with what we were dealing with last week. But I don't mind the colors. I do like if they were to go with an all black uni, and it looks like they have that as an alternate with a white helmet, which looks pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. I'll give it a B+ though.
So I think their white helmet is the way to go. I think they should wear the white helmet as much as they can. It's a decent color scheme. There's nothing really that stands out to me or is great. I will give it a B- though, because I do love that white helmet of theirs.
Yeah, I think it's like they're finally back to where they need to be. I think for the longest time they had all sorts of weird piping and stuff, and now basically they just wear what they wore when George Rogers played there. So just do that. Wear the white hat, wear the big stripes, all of that wins. It feels like they're at least back to that a little bit. They had some crazy uniforms when Under Armour was their supplier. I'm not sure. Maybe Under Armour is too, but maybe they've just toned down. They finally kind of have it good. I'm gonna give it a B. I think it's a fine one. It's not iconic. Which player this will be a short one. Which player off their team would you want in scarlet and gray, Jacob?
That is Dylan Stewart.
Yeah.
Like you guys are mentioning, he can be a game wrecker.
I mean, the Buckeyes told us that's the guy they want because they were heavily recruiting him and really tried hard to get him. And correct me if I'm wrong. It came down to these two, and it was almost a surprise that he picked South Carolina over Ohio State.
He's one of those ones that they went all in. I mean, they did everything they could. And yeah, he's the answer. I mean, can you imagine if he was lining up opposite? If that's your defense, I mean, come on. He's a total game wrecker. All-time big man on campus at South Carolina. Who do you got, Jacob?
When I think of South Carolina football, I think of the hit that Jadeja Clowney laid on, I don't know who the running back was for Michigan at the time, but that's all I think about when I think of South Carolina football. So it would be Clowney for me.
I don't think it was the running back, wasn't it? Denard Robinson?
It was Denard, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the quarterback at the time, Denard Robinson. I think Clowney is probably the right answer. I know George Rogers won a Heisman there. I know Marcus Lattimore was really darn good, and that knee injury he suffered against Tennessee was about as gruesome as anything you've seen. But I'm going to give it to Sterling Sharp. And I don't know how great Sterling was in college. I don't remember that, but gosh, he was so darn good in the pros.
I'm going Ronnie Bass.
Oh.
Ronnie Sunshine Bass played at South Carolina He made it, baby. Sunshine Bass made it from T.C. Williams to South Carolina.
Trevor Lawrence before Trevor Lawrence.
He really was. Had great locks. I have no idea if he looked anything like Kip Purdue, but it made for a hell of a story. So I'm going to go Ronnie Bass as the all-time, although I'm sure your guys are the much more responsible choices. Can this team be a playoff team, conference champ, respectable, or chump? Can they win it all? They can't do that, I don't think. Jacob, where do you have them?
Yeah, I think their ceiling is definitely at least a playoff appearance, but being in the SEC, it's going to be very difficult to do so with the teams that are ahead of them, or at least projected ahead of them. So I'll still do playoff, but realistically, it's probably conference championship game.
So I won't lie. Last night when I was thinking about this, I was thinking playoff team. Then I read Phil Steele's stuff on them. I think they're just respectable this year. I think they're going to take a major step back this season. They lost a bunch. We talked about that schedule. So Phil Steele convinced me South Carolina's dropping back this season.
I tend to go with you. I think they're respectable. The reason they're on this is what they can be. They got Aaron Noland as a succession plan at quarterback. Dylan Stewart was a big recruiting win. Can they be something more than that? I think if they made the playoff, you're doing cartwheels if somehow they're a playoff team. I think it's be respectable. If you can be 8-4 with this schedule, to me, that feels like a win for them. If Sellers gives them a couple of moments, you upset somebody and you have a fun Saturday night in Columbia, I think that's probably a win for them. We'll get some perspective on someone who ought to know. He's Chris Marler. He hosts Locked On Gamecocks. He joins us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
You know that thing called AI? Supposed to make the workplace super efficient? Well, there's something better. DI, Delicious Intelligence. It's tech that helps make work efficient and yummy. Leading the DI revolution, EasyCater, a workplace food platform that connects you to tons of favorite restaurants with tools to save time and stay on budget. Need tacos for $20? Falafel for $40? A variety of vegan breakfast sandwiches? Now that's a tasty prompt. Join the DI revolution. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no. Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Counting down the 20 most interesting programs in the country in no particular order. South Carolina, the team of note today. For perspective on the Gamecocks, we had on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, Chris Marler joining us, host of Locked On Gamecocks. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time. Let's just dive right in. This is a program that's won one conference championship, one division title in its history, but there's momentum, and there's been these pockets of momentum over the last 20 years or so. What does the fan base expect of South Carolina football? Let's just start there. Year in and year out, what do they expect?
I think that it's weird because I think the expectations are always pretty low, and I feel like that's the same from a national standpoint too, which is where they kind of hover in this like little ceiling and floor of 5-7 and 7-5. It seems like every single year. This year's a little bit different. I feel like, I feel like it's a little bit. You almost wish that you didn't have such high expectations going into the season. It's fun finally being talked about, but for the most part, you love like a season like last year where it's like you had people saying they were going to win 5 games, they were on the hot seat, and then lo and behold, you win 9. So kind of going in, kind of laying in the weeds a little bit more, and not having as high expectations has kind of been where this program has thrived. But like you said, it's been few and far between. You look at the years that they have been nationally relevant. If we're just being honest, it's been very frustrating.
Chris, from a Shane Beamer perspective, what is he's in year 5. You mentioned like how he flipped last year. What has he done right? And is he the guy that could take this because you look at him and there's kind of a nouveau riche to it, right? I mean, kind of what they do in recruiting. Traditionally, it's not there, but you have from our perspective, I look at a city I think a lot of people like to live in. I see a university a lot of people like to go to. I see a passion that's pretty good. I see a Saturday game day that's pretty good. Your competition around you is fierce, but at the same time, like if the stars align, why couldn't they have something a little bit more sustainable? Do you get the feeling that Beamer could be the guy to do that?
Yeah, I think the first thing he did was he kind of put up a fence around the state. And listen, it's not a very a fertile recruiting ground, right? You're talking about between 4 to 6 4-stars or better in that state total every year. Now, they got a couple years coming up here in 26 and 27 where you got a little bit more than that, and some high-end recruits. But the first thing he did was kind of put a fence around the state because that is a state that Dabo Swinney, even when they were at their best, was just kind of forgetting about. And it was just like, we don't really care about what's here. We're going to go and get whatever's in California, whatever's in Texas, or wherever else. And, listen, that obviously works for him too. But he kind of built this thing from the inside out. The other thing he did right away was make a lot of their resources be allocated towards their facilities. Because going into last season alone, you look at 247 Sports, they were ranked in the top 10 in the country in facilities. And they didn't have the same kind of stuff that you look at like Alabama or LSU or Oregon or Ohio State. But they had really, really good facilities, which is a big, big component for recruits nowadays of where they want to play and be around just like nicer things. And it shows that you're investing into the program. The biggest thing he's done that I think that people love to diminish or just kind of continue to dismiss, maybe is a better word. I mean, Beamer does not look like a very threatening person. There's one of the reasons for success for South Carolina, I think, as a whole is it's a very non-threatening school. People from the north will pull for South Carolina and go to that school. People from the south, it's like kind of like an afterthought. They're a fun, quote unquote, like America's team type thing that you can pull for every once in a while, like a novelty. Well, they've also been able to figure out a way in the portal. There aren't a lot of misses. And on some of these guys we've been able to go get, like Kyle Kennard last year, you took all these former 3-stars that were kind of afterthoughts. Demetrius Knight Jr. is a perfect example. Beamer told me on Monday last week at Media Days, that's a guy that his own coaches said he couldn't play at South Carolina if he went from Charlotte to South Carolina. And he turns him into a top 50 pick in the NFL draft. So there have not been a lot of misses from the staff from a development standpoint. And I think that even though the outside world and outside, fans and other teams and programs might be still ignoring it, that is really speaking volumes to recruits and their families.
You get a guy like Dylan Stewart, obviously keep him home and you win that battle. Yep. That's massive. And they've done that before with Clowney, and they've had some other guys where they get that big 5-star to stay in-house. But the other thing is you have the quarterback thing set up now. And you got our guy, Aaron Orland, there as a backup, and Lenoris first. What can Lenoris be for them this year? And when is the last time South Carolina kind of had this type of quarterback setup?
Well, first off, I think you guys are going to be just fine with Julian Sand. I cannot wait to watch that kid. That kid is going to be awesome, man. I'm so excited to see him. I will say this, too. I know this is about South Carolina. The least talked about defending national championship I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Very excited to see what the Buckeyes do this year. So it should be a lot of fun. No, with Sellers, though, just look at the numbers. How big of a deal is it to have this kind of quarterback? Spencer Rattler was the first quarterback they had drafted since, 1988. This has got to look like, it's like Mandarin to you guys, because it's the exact opposite of what you guys are used to. So, he was the first one. And I think the big thing with Sellers, and you brought up Stewart too, talking with anybody on the staff, they started negotiating his NIL terms and having them come back for their next year as early as September and early October of last year, in the season. So and that may sound weird and like a distraction, all that kind of stuff, but that's the day and age of football we're in now. And it paid off, having both of them come back. Sellers being a home state kid from Florence, I am not at all comparing him to Cam Newton. I am saying physically he has the way he plays the game and the way he's able to not just evade a pass rush but extend the play. There's a little bit of that game in there, like in what Sellers has. The best part about Sellers is he's 6'4", 230. He's a big dude. I think over 6'3", 240. Big dude who can run the football. He's a sub 4.5 guy. But this idea that he's not a good passer is only because he's such a good runner. It's somehow taken into effect where people just assume he's such a good runner, he can't be a good passer. He's a dual threat guy. He completed over 71% of his passes in 5 of his last 6 games last year. He is a really good passer. He's finally got a lot of talent around him. I think this is going to be a great year for him.
Chris, before I have some couple of SEC questions because you're just at Media Days, but last one for you on the South Carolina part of this. This schedule's brutal. It's a meat grinder, man. What is success? We do this thing we categorize each team we do. Can they win it all? Is it a playoff team? Is it a conference champion contender? Is it respectable, or are they chump? They're not chump. They're not going to be that. But can they be better than 8-4 with this schedule? Because you look at it and you go, God, that's a lot.
Guys, it's a lot, but can you imagine, though, how much better it would be if they played 9 conference games? Man. I'm glad someone else had to say it. I appreciate that. No, it is a lot. It is a lot. It's South Carolina. I always say this about South Carolina. The schedule is the schedule because they've had, for most of their eternity, they've had Clemson at the end and Georgia at the beginning of that schedule, and they finally don't have Georgia. The schedule was really tough last year, and if you look at it, listen, we can laugh a lot about Vandy being a ranked team last year at the time they played them. But, Vandy was pretty tough last year, I remember, for teams like Texas and even Alabama. But they finished last season with 6 straight wins, right? 4 of those were against teams that were ranked at the time, including the road game against Clemson, A&M, all that kind of stuff. The schedule is always going to be the schedule of South Carolina. It's still very, very tough. But I think the big thing, too, is that we're looking at this from a standpoint of, these are all the teams that are supposed to beat South Carolina. How are they going to beat Oklahoma at home? How are they going to beat Bama? They were 2 points away from beating Alabama last year, right? Mm-hmm. I think looking at this, they got to go to Death Valley. That in my mind, the only 2 surefire losses I have on there are at LSU and at A&M because of how much they've struggled at A&M. But the rest of them, we're just kind of assuming that everyone else is going to be better than they were a year ago, and they should beat South Carolina, and South Carolina is going to probably just hover and be the same, which is what everyone thought going into last year. So, I agree with you. 10 wins seems like that's a big hurdle to clear. And if you won 8 with that schedule, it'd still be very impressive. But I do think they have the ultimate equalizer on that team. That's one of our sellers.
Yeah, he can be the one. All right, you were at SEC Media Days last week. Lots about the 5+11 and lots about 8-team game schedule, as you mentioned, versus 9. What do you think is a hill that Greg Sankey in that conference is willing to die on in terms of what this sport looks like in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think that what they're going to do is barter the 9th conference game for four guaranteed spots. And I tell you what, I think it's the dumbest thing that they can do. I think they're getting strong-armed into it. And I know that Big Ten fans adamantly disagree with this, but I just want to remind you, no one asked the Big Ten to go play 9 games. No one asked the Big 12 to go play 9 games. And I'm so tired of hearing about, listen, you guys just played a 9th conference game. You just saw the South Carolina schedule, right? Mm-hmm. And there are some, like Ole Miss, who plays nobody. Like Ole Miss plays nobody. But outside of Ohio State, I don't see a ton of teams in that conference. Maybe Michigan coming up in the next couple of years, but I don't see a ton of teams in that conference that are going out and trying to find really, really tough non-conference games to start their season off with. So I think listen, Ohio State is completely absolved from this because they have scheduled great conference games, non-conference games for my entire life. They have been great at this. But I'm looking at Indiana. And Indiana's, cutting out Louisville, and then they're going to cut out whatever the last one was.
Virginia.
Virginia. And they replaced those with FCS games. And now you look at the future in their next 5 years, they've got 14 non-con games. Only 4 of them are against G5. I'm sorry. Only 4. You get 4 against FCS teams. None are against Power 4, and none are on the road. What are we doing? How about Michigan hasn't left home? Michigan from 2021 until last year hadn't left home in the month of September at all until they played Nebraska on September 30th. What are we talking about here, guys? So I think that the barter they're going to say is, listen, we'll do a 9th conference game as long as we know we're going to have 4 teams in. And I hate that. I think that sucks. I just think that I wish they would do something where they figure out every team go to 8 and have it be even, and then start scheduling multiple Power 4 non-con games like a round robin, the way they do it in basketball, with all the other conferences involved. So it's something I get fired up about because there are certain teams that don't need to be in the argument. Ohio State's one of them because they have done nothing wrong. It's some of these other teams. It's these are not the same. We're not comparing apples to apples here with Indiana and Ohio State.
Buddy, it's even worse than that. Penn State didn't want to play Ohio State in the conference anymore.
Right.
That's what they did. They said, we don't want to play Ohio State. We don't want to play Ohio State and Michigan every year. And Michigan and Ohio State are like, wait, what? We're not going to play Penn State every year?
I look at some of these schedules, too, and I fully hear the whole FCS game, Week 13 cupcake, totally get it. But I'm looking at Michigan 2 years ago who didn't play a ranked opponent until Week 11 when they played Penn State. And then I look at Indiana last year who hadn't faced, until they played Ohio State, they hadn't faced a team with a winning record. Yeah. During the year, it's week 12 or week 13. It's that's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. We're on the same page, buddy. Chris, thank you so much for the time. I understand you have a big week. Good luck, and thank you so much for giving us some of your time today.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Chris Marler, host of Locked On Gamecocks on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We get you 3 things on a Monday. Up next, Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know their co-founders are Ohio natives? Yeah. Window Nation has been replacing windows in the Columbus region for over 15 years. Not only does Window Nation know what windows work best for Ohio homeowners like you, they're also local to the area. And right now, you can take advantage of Window Nation's biggest sale of the year. Get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. You heard that right. With Window Nation, you won't pay any interest until 2030. Plus, they'll install your new windows in 1 day or less, so you can get back to your daily routine right away. Personally, I wouldn't procrastinate. You don't want to wait on this deal. It's a trustworthy company like Window Nation, getting your windows in 1 day or less. 50% off all window styles now, plus 0 interest until 2030 with Window Nation. Call them up, 866-90NATION, or visit windownation.com to get your free quote on replacement windows. 866-90NATION or windownation.com. And tell them T-Bone sent you.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion, replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Get cash for clunkers during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. 0 cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com. Common Man and Timmy, they're good, clean boys. If you enjoy a radio show hosted by immature men with slightly above average sports knowledge, they've got you covered.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Bank, what do we have on the poll today, buddy?
So today's fan poll over at 971thefan.com. There are just 3 golfers who have won 10 or more major championships. Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Walter Hagen. Do you think one day Scotty Sheffler becomes the 4th name added to that list? 75.6% actually saying yes. 24.4% saying no.
If you would have done that poll after Rory won his 4th, like a decade ago, if you would have done that poll after Jordan Spieth he's won 4 or 5, it would have been 75% said yes.
Correct.
Koepka, it would have been yes.
And he's at 5.
Right. It's really hard. So it feels like it now, but I think Scotty said it best in that quote you had. He's a quarter of the way to Tiger. Like, there's so many things that can derail.
And
between now and 10. It's
as we talked about, he's 28. He's already 28 years old. We don't think of that coming up on 29. He has to keep this run going for the next decade.
I think what makes it such a popular pick, especially for Scotty, is with how he's doing it. Like he's cruised in the final rounds of each of his wins and winning by a large margin. It's not like some of these guys winning by just a couple shots like they have.
But
Scotty's
didn't Rory
running
do
through
that
it.
too a decade ago? Like he has the record major. I think he has the record to par at the U.S. Open in one of his wins.
I think
there
he was
at PGA.
18 under par for that or something.
At one of them?
Congressional, I think. Yeah, I think for his U.S. Open.
Yeah, it was at Congo. Yeah, he was. Yeah, so it's just really hard. No one would have thought Rory McIlroy, with all his talent, would go a decade without winning a major. So those type of things can happen. It's a strange one. He looks great, but like if he got to 8, that'd be unbelievable too. All right, time for 3 things. Hit it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
This is a true story. Saturday night, after all of the 12 hours at a lacrosse field, I just wanted something relatively healthy to eat. Okay? We'd been rained out. The kids wanted, I don't know what they want. You all just kind of just fend for yourself. So they wanted, I think they did Wingstop and Chipotle maybe is what they went with. I can't even remember. But I'm like, you know what I want? I want 1 cup of soup. That's it. And I'd love an Italian wedding soup, but if I can't get that, I'll take some sort of fresh soup. And I knew I needed something quick. I couldn't sit down. So I order on the app of a no names please notable chain Italian restaurant. I order 2 cups of their soup. So it says it'll be ready in a half hour. That doesn't seem reasonable to me, but fine. So we get the kids' food. So I go over there. I pull up into the drive-thru thing where the guy's supposed to come out. I text him, I'm here, I'm good. Nobody. 5 minutes we wait, 10 minutes we wait, 15 minutes. I go in. At the 7-minute mark, I go in. I'm like, hey, I showed him the thing. I just ordered 2 cups of soup. Can I just grab them? I've already paid for them. I've already tipped you, by the way, which is fine. Can I get 1 cup of soup? And the person waiting said, when it's done, it'll be on that shelf. And I said, well, I get that it's not on the shelf yet, but I feel like the soup's already cooked and you're just ladling it into a bowl. And the person with the straight face says to me, no, we make every cup of soup from scratch. At which point I just hurled myself through a window.
It sounds like
just get me the damn soup.
It sounds like Soup Nazi. No soup for you.
Jacob, we make every cup from scratch. You wouldn't be in business.
If soup's not ready in 5 minutes, there's something wrong with you.
You already made it. That's why you have 2. You have soup of the day, soup that's always there. They're always there.
First thing for me, great week last week on vacation, getting away and recharging, although I will say it is good to be back here with you guys today. This is always my 1 week of the year where I don't worry about work at all. Like everything just goes away. However, I found myself worrying about work this year on vacation, worrying how all of our guests were on 20 Most Interesting and making sure everything was okay. And I knew you guys were in good hands and fine. But now that I'm a part of a show every day, I was worrying about it, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, adjust that, because if you get back to unplugging, brother, you've done the work, and so otherwise there's no joy in any of it. Go ahead, Jacob.
Last week we talked about the Clippers making their move to bring in Bradley Beal and how limited, I guess, that'll be with how much playing time we'll actually see them together. Well, the Clippers are still making some moves, and they're going the older route for some reason, and now they're bringing in Chris Paul for likely his final season, his 21st NBA season, and bringing Chris Paul back to L.A.
I guess that's a good way to end it. That's probably what he's most famous for. He played for far too many teams. I think of him mostly by what was almost, when he was almost traded to the Lakers, and then David Stern said no. That's what it jumps out to me, was that one. Number 2 for me, of course, the final lacrosse tournament of the summer was rained out. I don't know where we are as a state on average rainfall, but it feels to me like we're about, 7.5 feet over normal. I mean, like just pouring down rain all day. This is where we're at. And it's just been that. Like the weekend, we were missing it, hit and miss all weekend. Just I can't believe we're dealing with this still in July. It's wild.
I thought I heard from someone this morning that May and June was the rainiest May and Junes in Ohio history.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but
and last year we had like a drought, and now it's nonstop.
It's crazy.
Second thing for me, now that I am back from vacation, like it hit me yesterday, like it is full go now. There is no go time. Like we're in the midst of doing 20 most interesting, finding new guests, all of that. I've got to start working on high school football schedules and getting ready for that season. So there is no rest from now till the end of the year, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's go time.
Second thing for me, DeVere's in for Rothman on Rothman and Ice coming up next, and they are going to kick off Big Ten Media Week with Tim May at 12:30.
Good. That's appropriate.
That'll be fun.
That's a perfect third for all of us. That is coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Thanks for listening, buddy. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
You know that thing called AI? Supposed to make the workplace super efficient? Well, there's something better. DI, Delicious Intelligence. It's tech that helps make work efficient and yummy. Leading the DI revolution, EasyCater, a workplace food platform that connects you to tons of favorite restaurants with tools to save time and stay on budget. Need tacos for 20? Falafel for 40? A variety of vegan breakfast sandwiches? Now that's a tasty prompt. Join the DI revolution. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Did you know dropping your first 25 pounds with a Wicked 180 adds 6 to 8 yards to every shot? Even better scores every 5 pounds after that. Look it up. Freedom from excess fat is measurable. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Adam Sheffler here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.